Let me talk to you. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna argue. If we acknowledge the problem, then maybe we can solve it, babe. You ain't gotta speak, oh no, please don't bother. The pain too deep between you and me, don't let it go no farther. I respect you like my mother, you love me like your father. We barely knew our parents, so that made our job much harder. By the blind, we both was brought up. No love is what they taught us. We reciprocate the hate we learned, and somehow they still fought us. All we needed was some tender love and care. A crowded room, don't be confused, ain't none there. Yeah. Say all we needed was some tender love and care. They want you around, but you feel love when you not there. Oh, it ain't fair, you see. I promise I would never push you, never hit you. I will only love you. Promise that I got the tat and prove that there can never be another. Promise that I got your back and we would never let each other struggle. I honor that you got my back, cause you the brains and baby I'm the muscle, so I trust you. That's why I love you. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. Babe, that's why I trust you. That's why I love you. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. They call us the power couple. Shout out to others who left some things along the way, but not each other. Hey, my power couple, straight from the struggle. They lost some things along the way, but not each other. They call them. You can put the house in your name, I can put the lights in my name. You can put the gas in your name, put the layaway in my name. I can put the car in your name, put the cable in my name. I pay it off with my change, never wanna hear you complain. Yeah, now I respect you like my sister, you trust me like your brother. Our friends have separated, but we still ain't left each other. They talk down because they jealous, move on is what they tell us. When the love is strong, get in your bone, it's known to be rebellious. All we needed was some tender love and care. You call on family, for some ain't none there. Yeah. Say all we needed was some tender love and care. You got that love, it's best you keep it, cause it's real. It ain't fair, you see. I promise I would never push you, never hit you, never did respect you. Promise that it's ever drama, I'm the one that's coming to protect you. Promise that I got your back, and if you ever feeling any pressure, I honor that you got my back, cause we unstoppable when we together, so I trust you. That's why I love you. Yeah. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. Babe, that's why I trust you. That's why I love you. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. They call us the power couple. Shout out to others who left some things along the way, but not each other. Hey, my power couple, straight from the struggle. They left some things along the way, but not each other. They call us the power. You can put the house in your name, I can put the lights in my name. You can put the gas in your name, put the layaway in my name. I can put the car in your name, put the cable in my name. I pay it off with my change, never wanna hear you complain.
Blood off my hands, the judgment coming fast, too much blood on his lane. The second Exodus is about to happen, he ain't playing. He's sending out the winds, on this rock we gon' stand. We gon' trust the Son of Man. This the final hour, was disconnected from the source, we done found the power. Messiah built the church back, gotta trust the founder. The carpenter, got the father with him, ain't no stopping you. Protected by the winds if you got his help with you. Stand on the narrow, the father gon' provide, y'all his eyes on the sparrow. Never seen the righteous get forsaken, not at all. The devil trying to take us cause he know he about to fall. Hey, Michael standing up in his hour, keep the laws. We gon' blow the trumpet, we ain't go to war at all. Messiah made a way, he laid it down for all flaws. We got the father with his eye, stand tall. Protecting these commands, they at war with him. The dragon man, cause the remnant about to score with him. The children of the prophets, we done finally hawking. The law is the light, got us out the darkness. Return to the Father, ain't no other options. We let Messiah in, we done heard him knocking. Worthy is the Lamb, ain't no better time, surrender all right now. Ain't no looking back, you ain't lot wife, hell no. Fit for the kingdom, ain't no way that he gon' fail, y'all. Training up his kids, ain't no way we gon' derail, y'all. The devil making war with the saints, man, he smell, y'all. We gon' go to war about these commandments to the end. Protect my father word, this ain't no game, this ain't pretend. Messiah coming back, we study it and I repent. The angels on the corner, finally blowing out the wings. Ain't no other way to get protected but the blood. I'll put your mercy and your grace around us. Keeping these commandments, cause we know that's real love. Building up this ark, cause you send it out flood. What you see is hand upon this land, it's time to leave. Sodom and Gomorrah out of order, time to flee. Babylon gon' burn, every nation about to see. Messiah coming back, everybody to their knees. Every knee gon' bow. Boy, girl, child, y'all, he coming in the clouds. Thousands of years, man, it's almost time now. The valley of the drought, we done came alive now. This for every nigga you done hung, every baby you done raped, everything that you done done. Ain't no way you gonna escape, ain't no way that you gon' run. You gon' see him face to face with a hill Babylon, but we can't.
All right, Shalom Israel, Most High bless. Thank y'all for tuning in to F.O.P.E Civil War, F.O.P.E Israelites. Shalom to the whole F.O.P.E family, CUC family, AUDIC family. Shalom to all the moderators out there, Tim, Naphtali, Star, Lima, we love you. Wheezy, Oracle, Eve, everybody, the whole family. Most High bless everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got a brother coming on that want to give his testimony, the brother Yahawah, about the old One West and Shield of Wisdom. So I'm gonna let the brother come on, speak to the people. But before we get to that, family, that's something I want to address. Y'all seen the last video that I did myself, JT, and some other brothers talking about the School of ISUPK. So I want to tell y'all, this is the reason why. Shalom to K. Judah. Forgot my big brother K. Judah, I gotta say his name, and the whole CUC family. But I want to say this, right? This is one of the reasons why I fell back from a lot of stuff in Israel and why I don't deal with a lot of people in Israel, right? And how guys be fake and phony. They would tell barrel or make lies on your name and slander you, but won't tell a whole story about certain situations. So I wanted y'all to look at this real quick, right? The guy Prince of Power did a commentary. He chopped that video up that I did on my channel, and he wanted to talk about the sharing the information that we were sharing, right? So look, this is the video he did about he was using the information we were sharing that the brothers brought out, right? But I want y'all to look at this guy here, right? Y'all know who this is right here? This is the guy Nihilist from Willie Bullies, right? Now I'm gonna tell y'all something what's so funny about the situation. How, and this is why I'll be trying to tell y'all about dudes be wanting attention, dudes be wanting clout, dudes want to get their name out there, right? Me and this brother, we don't have no problems. We squashed all our beef. All the issues we had years ago is no more. We said a lot of evil things to each other, hateful things to each other. But the thing is, man, don't lie about situations. The man go on a man post and he put, Shah Sham is leading this discussion, but he was on the internet lusting after my wife. Hypocrisy is running wild in Israel. That's 100% lie. Now, the thing is, I'm not even going to disrespect his wife. I'm not even going to go hard at him because I believe Nihilist is slow. I believe he has some type of mental issue in his mind or in his brain. Something is wrong with the man. Now, I'm going to refresh y'all memory in the story, right? After me and his brother got cool, we pieced it up. I've been on their platform. He been on ours a little bit, but I haven't dealt with them a lot no more. The person who I deal with the most is my man, Shard. Everybody loves Rashad, the Hebrew. He's a good dude. But him, Nelius, got mental health problems or something, family. Remember, I was trolling him with the Piggly Wiggly stuff, talking about his wife. Yeah, I was playing around saying stuff about his wife, but it wasn't because I was lusting after his wife or want anything to do with his wife. The problem was he won't tell a story. So what I did was I went on Prince of Power page and I replied to what he was saying about me, right? To Prince of Power and to him. But I'm going to just tell y'all this is what it is. So to remind y'all about what happened with this whole situation with Nelius. I would never even know this guy if it wasn't for Elder Qanath. I wouldn't have never dealt with him. This is why I don't deal with Israelites, because these dudes are fake. Nelius was supposed to be a part of L Group. I promoted this man's channel, his brand, clothes, all this stuff, all on F.O.P.E for him free. Helped him build up his YouTube and all that. The guy turned on us. The guy was trying to pull a mutiny. Without the other brother that was in our camp, y'all remember Kahan? All this stuff went on dealing with Nelius and trying to disrespect us, trying to use our platform, trying to take over our platform, trying to start stuff with Naphtali and us. This dude caused so much disruption in Israel. Nobody liked dealing with him. He's mad because I guess he want to be a famous YouTuber or Israelite. Bro, I don't know what it is about you that you seem like you got a problem with me. I don't got a problem with you. We've been squashed this stuff, and here you back again, starting this crazy stuff again. And it's ridiculous that a grown man your age still act like a child. You won't let it go. You won't let it go. After I done apologized to your wife, she said she was sorry on your channel. You forgot because your wife checked you because you was the one that was wrong. So now I'm going to explain, family, what happened. Me and Nelius had beef because he kept getting on my nerves, tagging me in posts, talking about us on Facebook. I said, bro, I don't care what you got to say, man. I don't rock with you like that anyway. Say what you want about whatever your argument is about doctrine. So I was getting so bad that the man was in my inbox. He kept tagging me on Facebook, family. I said, you know what? Something is wrong with this guy. He's mad because I won't give him attention. He's worse than a female, like a scorned woman. Sham this, and tagging Elder Qanath and anybody that was in El Camp. So you know what I did, family? I blocked him on Facebook because I got tired of his messages. I'm at work. I'm trying to do whatever I got to do for my family. This guy's constantly hitting me on Facebook. And I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? That's all he would do. Hit me on Facebook. So as he started making videos and talking crazy, I said, you know what? You wanted problems? I'm going to give you a problem. So I took his Facebook pictures of himself, pictures of whatever I could find on him on Facebook. I cut it all. And then I start trolling him, making videos about him because he kept running his mouth, talking about where he worked at and all that stuff. Everybody know the story, right? So while all this was going on, he was all right. Elder Qanath, I'm gonna send you the link to your I'm gonna send you the link to your messenger because I don't want nobody else to get it right now because the brother in the back and I don't want everybody jumping on. He waiting patiently. I'm gonna let him on in a minute. I'm about to text it. I'm about to paste it to your messenger. So he kept doing all these stupid videos and stuff, right? So I left the brother alone. Let me tell you how his wife got involved. And I apologize to his wife. And that's why I said I'm not even going to disrespect his wife because she said this to him because here he is again starting foolishness. His wife, he caused this stuff between me disrespecting his wife, talking about his wife. Not his wife. He did. This is how. So after I had his pictures and I've been trolling him on Facebook, on Instagram, I mean, not on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, just back and forth, messing with him now, he got in his feelings. I'm bullying. They trying to flag my channel, all this stuff, right? So what he did was he started using his wife's Facebook page. I didn't know this. She revealed this in a conversation we had when I started getting on him. He gets on his wife's Facebook page and start laughing and trying to troll pictures of me and my wife. So in my mind, I'm like, who is this person on here trolling and trying to laugh at pictures of me and my wife? I didn't even know this woman. She's not my friend. Never seen her before, anything, family. Just listen good. This is what happened. So you know who it was? It was Nelius the whole time on his wife's Facebook page, on my Facebook page. That's how bad he needed to try to get at me. He goes on his wife's Facebook page and start trolling off of his wife's page, right? So I said, you know what? Let me see who this person is. I ain't never seen this girl before. So I get on there, I'm looking. I'm like, who the heck is this? It's his wife. It's his wife. I'm like, why is she on my Facebook? How did she even find my Facebook? Right? So he said, I'm lusting after his wife. I was trying to get his wife. Bro, if anybody was lusting after your wife, I never seen your wife before until Facebook. Didn't know anything about your wife until Facebook. You brought your wife to my attention, trolling on my page. So you know what I did? I did it in reverse psychology. So I said, you know what? Since your wife on my page, I started saying, oh, your wife want me. Oh, your wife like me. Oh, she want me bad and da-da-da. You know what happened, family? He got in his feelings. He got real mad. He got real salty about that. So my thing is, what kind of man would put his wife in the midst of a war between another man when your wife didn't even know none of this even happened? So what happened was, when we was piecing it out, his wife was getting on him, talking about, you should have never been on my Facebook page. Go on there, get me in the middle of this stuff anyway. I ain't had nothing to do with that. That's between y'all men. Why are you bringing me into this and everything? He on that, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, da-da-da. His own wife is getting on him. But he on here telling y'all I was lusting after his wife. How? I was making fun of his wife. And I'm not going to say what I said about her. I'm not going to show the pictures. I still got all that stuff that I was trolling him with. All of it, family. But the guy just out his mind. That's why I said I'm going to do things differently this year and not go at brothers all hard, be disrespectful. Just pray for the man, family. He need help. Because this man know I was not lusting after his wife. I didn't want his wife. Didn't know nothing about his wife. His wife was on, well, he was on my Facebook page with his wife page, and I had blocked them both. Now, how am I lusting after somebody or trying to get with somebody, do anything in that odds if you are blocking them off your page? You blocking them for what reason? You want them to leave you the hell alone. So here he is now, after all this time, these years done passed by, and he trying to bring this stuff up, saying, I'm trying to mess with, I was lusting after his wife. Bro, I don't want your wife, bro. Trust me. She's not my cup of tea. She's not my kind of girl. Y'all made for each other. Most High bless y'all marriage. But please, bro, nobody wants your lady. And please don't tell lies. Tell the whole truth. Tell a story, bro. You brought your wife in the midst of war between men. And now she had you on there looking like a clown. And now you on there with your head down because you wanted to wave the white flag because your wife was saying, bullying people online, saying, I'm bullying you because I was saying where you work. I was saying how much you made a year working at the Piggly Wiggly and all that stuff. And it hurted y'all feelings. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but you was talking reckless at the time because I was dealing with some mental health issue, telling people because I was suicidal and going through some different things. And you telling people and online telling people I should kill myself, kill yourself, Sham, and all this stuff. You forgot all that evil, wicked stuff that you were saying, but you want to be a leader in the Israelite community so bad. But you would tell your own brother to commit suicide and kill himself. You see what I'm saying, family? But that's him. So that's all I wanted to bring out, y'all. Just speak on this situation. I ain't with the other brother on the channel at the time, but that's what happened. This man, once again, and this is why I don't deal with him. This is why I don't talk to him. This is why I don't go on that platform like that, family. He built all his stuff up off of us. He didn't do it on his own. When he got into the issues with Yahawah and them on Facebook about taking his name and everything, he was crying about that, and I helped the brother out. That's why I was like, it's nothing you could do good in the Israelite community for people, because when you do, they turn their back on you. They start lying on you. They start saying things you didn't say. They start making up stories because you won't go along with how they feel about doctrine and things like that. The man's just a complete liar. Qanath, you there? He'll come back in. But the man, he's just a complete liar, y'all. He's a complete liar. There's no truth in him. And no, I don't want his wife. I'm not even going to make a video talking about this no more. I just wanted to address that, family. But these are the lies that men do in Israel. He won't tell the truth. He won't tell that his own wife got on him for doing that, for using her Facebook page, for putting her in the midst of a battle. She ain't had nothing to do with nothing. He dragged his own family into it by not being a good so-called leader. I would never be on my wife's Facebook or trying to log in on my wife's Facebook, jumping on men profiles, talking about men and stuff like that. That's the kind of man he is. You see what I'm saying? If somebody don't want to deal with you, don't want to talk to you, obviously get the point, leave him alone. But see, he couldn't get it. He just had to say what he wanted to say and do what he wanted to do, and that's why the situation ended up the way it did. So with that, family, I'm gonna bring the brother on now so he can tell a story about One West, Shield of Wisdom. He wanted to come on and talk to the family about the old One West. So shalom, brother. Most High bless. Thank you for coming on.
Microphone check. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Peace be unto you, Shawshan.
Shalom.
Name Prince. Name Prince, right? That's the name? Name Prince.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, peace be unto you.
Peace, brother. So you got the floor, whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Or bring out
my name is
the One West or whatever you wanted to talk about. You can go ahead.
Well, a brief history about myself before I even begin. My name is Yahawah Al Malak Allah. That's the hand of the Most High, uh, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Jesus. I started off basically my sister, my stepsister. She was a member of the Shield of Wisdom, and one day I snuck into her room and I saw a book with a hexagon on it. That's what they call the Shield of David. You know, the 6-point shield.
Yeah.
So that always was a mystery to me. Oh, it was something that was always on my mind. So I graduated high school in 1995, and I went to Cal State Northridge. And in the rec room, you know, Cal State Northridge at the time was dealing with Pan African Studies, and you know, I got a grant to go there for the Black programs, the African programs. And I was in a rec room, and you know, a question came up to me about who am I? I had a black medallion on at the time. I had a African medallion on at the time, and I couldn't answer the question. And one of them was an East Indian, and he said, "What's your nationality, or who are you?" I said, "I'm African American." He laughed. He said, "Look at my friend here. He's a East Indian. He's black. He's not African American." So that kind of like had me like stumped. So when I remembered that shield that was on my sister's book, it was the Apocrypha. It was a red book. It was the Apocrypha. I went to her and I said, "Listen, invite me to one of your classes." She looked at me shunned because I didn't tell her that I saw the book, but she obliged. She had me she invited me to the class. Now, the Shield of Wisdom at the time was located on 6418 Western Ave. That's in South Central Los Angeles, California, which is a very dangerous neighborhood. You know, it had all the gangs, Bloods and Crips in that neighborhood, and it can just pop off at any time because that area encompasses all the gangs at the time. But they didn't touch, you know, Shield of Wisdom. Also, they had a giant mural of it was a big mural outside of a lion swiping at an eagle with his breast with the American flag. But at the top it said in red, Shield of Wisdom. So when we got there, she knocked on the door, and a guy by the name of Lamad opened the door, and he greeted himself, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. And that was foreign to me because this is when it was fresh to me when I first heard, you know, the Hebrew. And so he invited me in, and when I walked in, the first thing I saw to my right was Eastern Oils. Now, if you know about Eastern Oils, basically that was imported from New York. It came from the Central Command, you know, with the oil sales. So they had the you know, something that Christ would have tossed out. They had the merchandise in the place of God. So that right there was a red flag. And so when I followed Lamar down the hallway, it was lit. It was very the light was very, very high. So when I got to the door, it was golden and it had that shield, and I knew it was providence. I knew that it was destiny. for me to be there, because not only did I see the shield on my sister's book, but when I went to the door, it was gold, and it had a red hexagon, because that's what it is. It's not a Star of David; it's a hexagon. So when I went in, it was the sanctuary. The tiles was black. They had the podium was red. They had on the left side of the podium, they had the captains. Uh, they used to wear black shirts, military, the green camouflage bottom, and then you had the men that was sat on the right side, the women on the left side. So I was given a apocrypha and a Bible, and the first person that kind of like interviewed me, he basically, because what they did before you sat down was they took your ID. His name was Raiah, the man that died uh, not too long ago. Um, so when I sat down, I waited, and then it was uh, it was five men that walked on the podium, and then they said Amadrum, and I was like, shit. I got up. I said, what the hell is this? So they said saluting in generals, and the first person they saluted in was Ariella. All right, and then flanked by the second in command was Kawakaba Ma, and then you had Zainala, you had Nagaya, and you had Yahanaga. And so, then he said, Yajamata. Then we sat down. The men saluted the men, the general saluted the men back, saluted the women back. And so I sat there, and the first thing they covered was creation. So the doctrine itself was off, because they teach creation. They teach that uh, God finished the production of heaven and earth uh, 6,000 years. Each day was 6,000 years, where the scripture says that when he spoke, immediately it was created. So it was literally 6 days, is what I'm trying to say. So, but remember, that was 1995. But prior to that, in 1994, they never spoke of a split that happened in New York, a very prominent split that happened in New York. A brother by the name of Karatazar, whose channel is Born Again Israelite, shout out to him. He gave extensive detail, because he was in that council, of the ouster of Lahab, uh, and all that was happening, which led to a few members of SOT leaving, which led to uh, Mashah being kicked out, and then eventually Yaakov died. So you had the four remaining so-called high priests. Now, one thing about 1 West 125th Street, it was also known as, that building that they was in was known as Enchanted Harlem. So, Hashem, you know what enchanted mean?
Yeah, it's like when you do you enchant something with spells or rituals, or like enchanting an emblem. You put something like you know you enchant something. Yeah,
Yeah, it deals with sorcery. It deals with witchcraft and sorcery.
like you could put
You know what I'm saying?
enchant like a spirit and an item and certain things like that. Definitely, yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
One thing about Christ and the Most High, they always label things. That's something you should not overlook at all. Every photo that you see of 1 West 125th Street, you see Enchanted Harlem, and you see 1 West. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it also, when you look up the definition of enchantment, it deals with sorcery, wizardry, wizards, warlocks. It deals with charming. Do you know that that hexagon is a charm? It's used by
Yeah, I
satanic
did.
cults for doing hexes on people.
Yeah, I did.
What the
I
hell
did.
that guy do?
No, no, I was going to tell you. I did a lot of research on what they call the Shield of David and the Seal of Solomon, and I found archaeology, biblical proof that Israel had it. During they found the They actually found the actual ornaments that they wore. And excavations where they dug it up in Tel Aviv. It's a brother by the name of Saint Ephraim 128. He says that the building wasn't named Enchanted Harlem. That was the name of the business who had the space in the building. So I don't know if you wanted to respond to that.
Well, the thing is, like I said, we're gonna say it again. The Most High in Christ always put labels on things so you can identify what they are. Just like you have the Khazars, the fake Jews, have that shield, have that blue. You know what I'm saying? And then you have so the thing is, you gotta understand, um, what was being done in that building was witchcraft. All those guys, Lahab, uh, Ariyah himself was pegged to the Kabbalah. He was pegged to
I heard about that. He got
you know what I'm saying? So
thrown out the
he
window for
was a
doing
wizard.
spells. Right. I heard about he got thrown out the window for doing spells and enchantment in the Kabbalahs. I know about that as well. I know a lot about the old one West. What happened? And I hear the same old stories from everybody. Who some people tell a little different. Some people add more that I never heard. But I definitely know about. We know about that too, about them using the Kabbalah and using witchcraft, and spirits threw him out the window, broke his arm. That's why I don't deal with the Kabbalah, and I had those books. I got rid of them. And it also was supposed to have been the Book of Spells. I don't know if you heard about it, but they said that they also had the 6th and 7th and 8th book of Moses. That was the Book of Spells. You know anything about that? That they said they had back in old school?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Oh yeah.
But I will do research. I will take that reference. Thank you for that reference, and I will do research on that. But the point I'm trying to make is, you have to be very careful too, because I'm sure you're aware that the devil, the Edomites, they write their own history. They actually stripped the true holy, the true land. When they colonized Africa and they moved deep deep south beyond the Egyptian Sea and created the fake Europe and all of that. Okay, all those lands originally was in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jerusalem wasn't ever and all that. So you just gotta be very careful. But I know you're astute, and I have much respect for you, Qanath. You guys do your research. You guys set up a beautiful platform so brothers can bring out their grievances and speak on matters, and I appreciate that. So, but in the spirit of wisdom, they never spoke of that spirit. Most of the congregation was oblivious to it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know nothing about it. So but the four remaining high priests at the time, because they're not high priests, but that's what they call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after that first class I went to, I was diligent. After that I went, to the classes frequently. So the next day when I went, that's when a red truck pulled up with the license plate "Rush RUSH," rolling under the spirit of the highest. And a gentleman that walked out was Ariella. I saw him personally, and he looked me up and down. See, Ariella will look you up and down and kind of try to gain your spirit when he meets you. So this is the first time he met me. So he said to me. He said, "Please, brother." He said, "I want to invite you to our Passover. We have a Passover." And so that's when I first got experience of the Passover in 1995. And the first thing I saw was Taskmaster. You know, uh, having brothers do work and all that, and they not helping. And I
Mm-hmm.
s- and I saw that, and I got into the work. I said, and I wasn't even a member at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I said, let me help out, because I didn't like that. But that's just the way it was. Brothers look tired and all of that. They look tired. They look, I asked a brother, how you doing? He be like catching hell. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, so basically, you know, not shortly after that, um, the four elders came down um, to surprise the congregation that came down one time. uh, not too short after the Passover. And who came down was Ariah, Yeshaya, Shar, and Kazakh. Kazakh came down. Live. They came down into the school, into the sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, they basically introduced themselves and all of that. And what I liked about Kazakh is Kazakh, when he came to present, he came off the head, man, like a freestyle. Brought in second. This is the first time I heard Second Edge 13 where it talks about Jesus Christ coming and the second judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a brother read, but that impressed me a lot. And then the next day, oh no, before I go on to the next point, that's when Ariel personally invited Ariella to their annual visit to the trip to Mount Sinai.
Mm-hmm.
So that's monumental because I'm gonna speak later on about 1996 when Ariella was with the high priest in Egypt. Okay, how that's a big deal. So basically, they came to Venice Beach and they shut it down, and that was historic in itself. I think that was one of the first times they came to Los Angeles. But Ariella was picked. Ariella was picked by Masha because back in New York, you had the Brooklyn Caps, and everything was basically boring. And Ariella went up to Masha. He said, "Listen, man, I want to do some work. Let me go and expand this thing." And Masha was the one that gave him that task. And so that's how it was founded. It was developed. Uh, Ariella was very powerful. He was like the representative, of New York at the time. So basically, I was continuing to go to class and everything like that. And what happened in '96? Shaya Allah went down to Egypt, to the Sinai Peninsula, and with the elders, and Johanna was there as well. And Shaya Allah at one point, him and Payalaga, they were tight, and Payalaga came to Shaya Allah. He said, "Listen, man, you don't read in the Hebrews how Christ is supposed to be only high priest." And so
Mm-hmm.
he basically brought that information to Shaya Allah, and he gave him the notes and everything to look up, and gave him all the information, and he converted Shaya Allah into the belief that Jesus Christ was the only high priest, which is correct. So Shaya Allah, after that, after his studies and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
he got it in his mind, and he even reported this. You go to his channel, he would tell you that.
Now,
Uh,
see how he learned that, right? Well, I learned that through the Spirit years later when the Most High showed me that Ha Mashayach was the only high priest, and there's no high priest on earth at the time. And nobody can
mhm,
walk on this earth with that title claiming that they're a high priest. And I've been saying that
mhm,
this is one of the problems in the nation of Israel, that people on this planet thinking that they sitting in this certain person's seat and claiming to be a high priest or a bishop, because a bishop means high priest when you look it up in the Greek. You see what I'm saying? So you can't be a bishop, and
mhm,
bishop is not even Hebraic teaching anyway. When you read the New Testament, it don't say bishop. It says bishop in the
mhm,
Greek. It says elder, or if you desire office of minister, is what Paul was saying, not a bishop. So that's
mhm,
wrong in itself, because when you read the New Testament in Hebrew and you're reading it in English and Greek, you'll see it's big differences in what Paul was saying when you're reading it in the Hebrew version compared to the Greek version. So
mhm,
that's a problem in Israel. Is a lot of brothers are reading the books in two languages when they shouldn't. They should be reading it in their language, which is Hebrew. But
mhm,
nobody on this earth is a high priest. Nobody. All of
mhm,
us, none of us is without blemish. None of us even worthy to even take that office. None of us can even step in the Holy of Holies. You saying you're a high priest, you saying you can step in the Holy of Holies. So ain't nobody here can step in the Holies of Holies.
Yeah, just let me say shalom
Oh,
or peace.
I'm out of enough. Go ahead.
And say shalom and peace to the listener audience and you, Shashem, and the brother that's on. I'm interested to hear the rest of your story. About what happened in Egypt, what happened in New York, and especially with the Shield of Wisdom. So I'm just gonna sit back and listen. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That was a monumental moment right there, because when Shaya Allah got to Egypt, he went to Ariala, and they shared that information, and Ariala consented to that, and so Shaya Allah was like, "Listen, man, I'm not calling these men high priests anymore." So Ariala was like, he concurred to that, and Johanna was there as well. And so, he got that information. And so what happened? What happened is that caused a split. That caused a major split with the West Coast and the East Coast when Ariala accepted that information. Because after that point on, there was an investigation launched. But when Ariala and Shaya Allah left, that Shaya Allah went back with the elders to New York. Ariala started, basically going into Hebrews, going into Christ as the high priest. And so what happened was an investigation was launched in secret. Nobody knew about it. But what happened is the high priest Shar would occasionally visit LA. And one time he popped up to an evening class, and I was in the class. And he came in, heavy set, big afro with his suitcase locked, sat on the podium, and he taught about slavery. I want to say one thing about slavery, right? We can no longer use slavery to identify who Israel is. In the book of John, it says that Christ, he that believeth on his name, he gave them power to be called sons of God. You understand? Because that's what a lot of people do to identify themselves. But we gotta understand, like you guys teach, that chart is a lie. That chart is demonic. That chart has nothing to do. Ariya's chart has nothing to do with identify who Israel is. Christ does that. You can't overlook John chapter 1. He gives power. He gives power to be called the sons of God, not after the flesh, not after blood, but after the spirit of God. So, and that's one of the first things I saw when I went into the school. I saw the registry, I saw it. They had on the right side Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and they had on the left American Negro, West Indian, all that. And they had on the right, the first time I saw the Hebrew keys, the 22 sets of Hebrew keys. The Hebrew packet, learning the Hebrew, and all of that. So, but anyway, so after the class, I remember I used to carry this green book for notes. It was a green book that basically had hundreds of pages, and I used to take down notes. And so after the class, Shar asked for that book. He wanted to see the notes, and he said, "But I give it right back to you." So that right there had my antennas up, and then eventually what happened was a brother by the name of Bayan was also reporting to what was going on in LA. And so at that point, that caused a big rift. Ariella wasn't coming around a lot. At a certain point, he started, dealing with the other camps like Oklahoma, Albuquerque, New Mexico, for instance, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Texas, and all other camps. He wasn't around a lot. So eventually, what happened was in New York now, panning over to New York now, Shia Allah started teaching Christ a little bit. You understand? And so Tazadakia, that the devil that died at the time, came in and spoke to Shayala and said, "Listen, the high priest want to see you because you're teaching that funny stuff." So that's what he reported saying. And he went through the council and all of that, and eventually Shayala got kicked out of New York. So he came down to Los Angeles, and Payalaga came down with him, and I remember seeing him. But it was very powerful. He came down to Venice Beach, shut it down. You had one thing I like to point out, when the elders came down to Venice Beach, when Yeshaya took the mic, he would call out the secret agents and so forth. He would call them out. He said, "I know you got a lot of secret agents, the FBI in the crowd, but you can't stop us." And the helicopters and all that, and they would speak so loud, they had the helicopter scrambling and all of that. Shayala came down and did the same thing, and he would teach off the dome. He would teach off the dome too. Not saying go to 16, chapter 16 verse 18, all of that. Most of his was off the dome and freelance, flow with very fluid. So when he came down, he kind of like started teaching classes and so forth. And nobody knew that he got kicked out of New York. That's the thing. See, all this non-communication, right, with the congregation. This is why, you gotta keep your head out the box. You gotta know your surroundings. You gotta know what the hell is going on. And that's why I'm thankful for social media now, because at the time they didn't have social media. You didn't have others speaking on issues. You understand what I'm saying? At that time, basically you was like in a box. It was a cult, literally. They wouldn't have general meetings saying this is what happened, this is what's going down. They didn't really introduce Shayala when he came down, said this brother left New York and so forth. He didn't speak on the matter. It was like they were still associated with New York, but at that time, Ariella cut and split LA from New York at the time. So what happened was Kawakab got a wind of it, Zion got a wind of it, and Zion and Kawakab was still, with New York. Even though they were supposed to be under Ariella and in LA, but they kept their allegiance and loyalty to New York. So time went along. I was in the class actually. Time went along. Payalaga and Yeshaya was on the podium, and Zion and Kawakab crashed the classes. They just came in uninvited. Just came in and broke the lessons that was being taught and paused the scene. And Kawakab walked up. He said, "Listen, if anybody has any questions, and he gave out a number. I remember him giving out a number. I wrote that number down, and they left. So shortly after that, it was on the Sabbath. Right before they had the Sabbath class, I walked in. I remember having on this Nike gray a top blazer, and I took it off, put it on a chair, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Nagaya came into the class, and he took us, put us in the truck, and we just got out the school. He drove right out to school, and that was the last time I saw that blazer. And he took us to the general house, and that's when he explained what was going on. Basically, in West LA, they had a house by a brother named Shama that he basically gave Ariella that house so that the generals, can dorm there, can stay there every time they come to LA. And basically, when he was in LA, and they made that house basically the headquarters, at the time. The Field Wisdom building on 6418 Western Ave was basically vacant for a bit. Nobody would go in there. Come to find out that Zionala and Ariella. No, let me say this first. First, it was Kawakab. Kawakab was second command. So Kawakab basically was divided from Ariella. So Ariella had his business at the general's house. Okay, come to find out that Cabo Cobb, they dealt their business and they basically set up at Zion Allah's house, not too far from the Shield of Wisdom building. Okay, Zion Allah house was basically close to Shield of Wisdom building, so there was a split there. So I was taken to Ariella's side, and I remember Ariella wasn't there, but Nagaya was there. Yohanan was there. I don't remember seeing Shayala. I don't remember seeing Payala at the time, but they were saying that, listen, Kawakab and that group over there, they're basically, we're not supposed to deal with them anymore. They're supposed to be excommunicated. And they rebels and so forth. And I remember at that point when I went to use the restroom, I was scared. I prayed to the Father. I said, listen, please, Lord, guide me on what I need to do. And so after that, I met with one of the brothers, one of the members. He was a soldier that kind of like helped me through that whole situation of going to the classes of being involved. And he strongly recommended that I get away from those men. He said, listen, man, you don't know nothing about Ariella. You don't know nothing about what's going on. Because when that split happened, a lot of brothers, a lot of men, they left. They didn't come back anymore. But you had the loyalists that was with either Ariella or with Cabo Cabamat. And so I basically at that time I stopped. I just stopped. I wasn't involved anymore. And I pretty much at that point was kind of like homeless at the time because when that happened, um, I was basically living at the job that was given to me, and eventually I was able to get a place with my sister, but I was homeless at the time, and so what happened was I went back and called that number that was given out in the class, and it was Zion Allah. And I told him, listen, basically I work, so I'm not gonna be able to, go to your house for classes because he was having the classes, on Cabo Cop side over there, over at his house. And so apparently at a certain point, Cabo Cobb, decided to leave Zion Island in charge of the LA camp, and he decided to go to Texas. Um, because they had a meeting about him being the leader of the side of that side. They got questioned it because he was a Gadite, and they was like questionable about that because they're saying that the Judah is supposed to be the leading tribe. So that right there, had him leave, had Kawakab leave, and he went to Texas. So Zainala was the head of LA camp, and when I called, he offered me tutorship, one-on-one studies with him. And that right there was very, very monumental because that basically developed me. Also, another brother that he tutored with me was a brother by the name of Aban. And brother was very, very artistic. He's the one that created that painting of Jesus Christ that's kind of famous right now. You go online and you put up Black Jesus, you will see that painting.
The one, not the one that IUIC did, but the one where he got like the green garment on with the cape and his finger
No,
sword.
it's just his face, and
with the red eye, the white hair.
yeah,
Okay, I know which one you're talking about.
yeah. Aban did that, and he basically did that in 97, 98. It was when it was basically revealed because it was used for speed teaching, and so forth. So, but anyways, that right there was very, very important for me. That tutorship with Zion because basically, at one point in the 90s, Zion was in New York with one of the Brooklyn camps, and he was learning, and he was very influenced by Lahab. And basically he was a student. He took down a lot of notes and all of that. So when I was getting tutorship, that's when I started to get my understanding of New York and their doctrine and all of that. And that elevated me actually because he now knew who I was, and we became close. And at that time, Zion had a daily communication with the high priest in New York, with Aria, with Aria specifically a lot. So he started, we started working out and everything like that, and he would report all of this to Aria. So Aria knew who I was without me knowing. Zion would tell him about me coming to learn directly under him, and basically growing, and he would talk about the workouts and everything like that. So that got Aria to know who I was, and because when I went into to Shield of Wisdom in '95, everything happened so fast. You understand? So I wasn't really there long, and I wasn't really associated with Ariella, even though he was the camp leader. He would keep his distance from me. When he looked me up and down, he saw that I was square. He saw that, he wanted to keep his distance because behind the scenes, Ariella was into partying. He was into, going to the strip club and all of that type of stuff. And, that's what they was doing, but they was keeping that uh, behind in the closet or behind closed doors. So he kept certain of his members away from that. So, so with Zionala, with that tutorship program, that kind of got me going because when I had the opportunity, to go to the classes and everything, I would know lessons before it was even taught to the class. You know what I'm saying? And I would take those lessons and I would go home and study them. And so I started to grow, and I started to basically um, got to the point where I kind of understood, a little, according to this perspective, you know, uh, the Bible was talking about to a point. Um, because in that tutorship, everything was covered. Revelations, all of that was covered, but it was off when I look at it now. But all those breakdowns and all of that was covered. And then Zainala had his private collection of tapes and all that too. Where it would show uh, Lahab and um, Tahar, and Zion would tell stories about how Tahar and Lahab had beef, how Tahar lusted for Lahab's spot and all that, and he would just break down the history. So that helped a lot, and that was basically me having to kind of see what was going on. So time went along, and big things happened, especially in 97, 98. I'm gonna cover in this book I got in the makings right now, about the big thing that happened in Pasadena, California, when when the camp used to teach there, and how it was on the news and everything, and how it went up against the you know the mayor and everything of Pasadena, and how they couldn't stop us from going out to teach because we was keeping the First Amendment. And the shop owners had issue because of the loud, how loud we was speaking the word and so forth, and became a big thing. It was on the news and everything. And so I went back to Pasadena, went back to the library to get that information to put in the book, the photos and all, because they try to wipe that whole thing out. Um, so time went along. I actually defected. I left because at one point when Zion was setting up the camp and all of that, at one point him and a group of brothers, one in particular was Wam. That's the guy I dealt with in Hollywood. Um Wam, you know, when they was invited to New York to have talks about how they was going to help Zion set up and all of that. And Taiwan, you know, went there and he was like telling them they need to put Christ more, you know, in their lessons, and also they should put Christ in the name of the, you know, in the name of the organization. And he got a round of applause and all of that. And that's when, you know, at one point the name was changed, you know, not particularly and officially, but basically at that point, that's when LA named the school Israeli Church of God in Christ, LA, um, opposed to ICUPK, because it was known as the Israeli Church of Universal Practical Knowledge. So after that, that was that was early like 97, 90, well, actually 96, 97. Um, they had to go down to New York and talk to the elders about, you know, building up the LA. And that's when, um, you know, it was named the Israeli Church of God in Christ, LA. And, you know, I got to the point where I grew to the point where I was doing the Sabbath classes. I was teaching the Hebrew. Um, you know, I was teaching the classes and so forth. Like when the Zion would show up late or Taiwan would show up late, because basically at the 98 Passover, the elders promoted Zion to 13 Shield General, promoted Taiwan to 12 Shield General, and along with Monaghan and Bayan, they was the leader. They was the leaders of the LA camp. And so when they would come in late and teach classes, me and Aban would go up and teach. So that was a great amount of experience. And then uh, you know, Abanazar, if you know about Abanazar, um, he was a 13 Shield General, and he basically took Ariala's position. When Ariala left, Abanazar took his spot. So Abanazar came down and did a great amount of building, helping us build the LA camp, and I was very close with Abanazar at the time. And so he was basically given the power to, you know, give us priest cards and give us our position. I was an officer at the time. I can't remember officer of how many, but I was an officer at the time. And he basically was given the charge from Aria to rank, you know, the ones that was with Zion Allah, you know, to help the build. So at this time, it was very instrumental because I didn't have to take. Remember, before you get promoted, you had to pass, you know, the test. You was given a test to pass, the Hebrew test, and all of that. And you know, so I was able to get promoted without taking that Hebrew test. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, when I started growing in spirit and teaching strongly on the streets and all of that, uh, that's later on where I was promoted to captain. What was it? Captain of 11,000. I was promoted captain to 11,000. A lot.
I got a quick question for you. Did you ever have to
Yeah.
go through the 2-year trooper program?
No,
Oh, you didn't?
no,
Because I've been
no.
hearing a lot of brothers said they went to a trooper program, and then a lot of brothers said they never had to go into the trooper program. Then it's a lot of saying,
Well,
go ahead.
you had to go through a trooper program. You had to go through a trooper program, but because of the split and because of what was going on, I didn't have to go through it. I didn't have to take that you know, the test you have to take. You know what I'm saying?
Qanath, look in your message.
So
I got you. Go ahead.
yeah, so you're right, Sharshan. You do have to take you know, a trooper test, a soldier test, and everything like that. You have to pass that to be able even to have the ability to be promoted. But because of what was going on, I received these promotions without taking those tests. And I was first an officer, and then, you know, when I started to grow at 98 around that time, Zion promoted me to captain of 11,000, and a lot of the members were jealous of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they were jealous of me and Zion being tight, and it was jealous, you know, when that was happening. So when I got that promotion, it really didn't help me a lot because I really didn't get thorough training on leadership. And so you know, and a lot of men was jealous, so they would, you know, they would so it broke a lot of friendships that I had, you know, because I had to, you know, basically, you know, lead them, you know, and give them orders and stuff like that. And that didn't really work well with me, you know what I'm saying? So you know, that it was part of my demise when that happened. Everything was cool before then because I was, you know, basically as the rest of the members, you know, we had true friendships and all of that. But you know, with Zion tutorship and everything like that, I was excelling. Um, but that was raw talent, you know what I'm saying? So you know, so after that point, um, it was one particular moment at that point. A brother by the name of Ahmad Allah came with to me with the information that basically the elders been lying for a long time about the Sinai Peninsula being a real mountain of God. It is even known today that that's not the real mountain of God. And you know, he bought maps and all of that, you know, and he basically got it from information at the time. During that time, it was a program called the 700 Club, and it was a former cop, Bob Canook. He was led by his friend who was a treasure hunter, and they actually went down and brought out all the investigation, you know, using the Bible to talk about how Mount Sinai, man, that mountain stretched from the Sinai Peninsula all the way into Arabia. You understand what I'm saying? So when you talk about Mount Sinai, you know, it's not just one particular area; it stretches all the way over. And you got to remember, you know, it crosses over the Red Sea. Okay, so you know, when he came up with that information, I did a thorough investigation on that, and you know, found that, you know, that they are right. You know, Bob Canook was right, and that treasure hunt was right because, you know, they was given the scriptures and everything. And you know, so when I came up with that information, I kept that in mind. And then what happened was I had two wives, and one of them ended up sleeping with one of my friends, and me and my first wife, you know, we was having problems. Her name was Rayakta Shara at the time, and we was having problems. So that's why I got my other wife, Kashamaya, and you know, so what happened was Rayakta stepped with one of my friends' name was Kazama, and it came to Zainali. He found out about it, and you know, he basically um, was with the you know, was with Tazama getting with, you know, Royakia, and then and basically he had a council about it, and he suspended them for the incident, and he reported it to High Priest Shar at the time, and High Priest Shar, you know, he you know, through the phone, you know, he basically checked him on that, Royakia and Tazama, on that. He was like, you know, that was very bad what you did, you know, and but Zion basically was with it, and not only that, he told the congregation, you know, not to mention it, to keep it under wraps. I didn't know about it, but when I did find out about it, I saw them together at we worked at the same job in by the airport by LAX. It was a job by LAX. One of the sisters, you know, she managed a job there, and she was, you know, she would basically hire us so we can, you know, earn a check. And so when I went to you know, talk to her and everything like that, and I went to try to give her a hug, she kind of pulled away from me. She ran over to Tazama, and that's when I found out that they was together. And man, I felt the pain, And it's basically in in the Proverbs where it talks about if you strike hands with a stranger, you should smart for it. You ever heard of that word smart? He that it talks about he that striking hands with a stranger, he should smart for it. It's like an intense pain. I felt pain at that time. I was losing my mind, and I kind of took a leave from the camp for a while because not only was it awkward because I was the only one that knew about it. The whole congregation knew about it because they was basically together and everything like that. I didn't know about it and everything, so that kind of drew me away from going to class and everything like that. So that was the start of me defecting. I stopped going to class and everything, and so what happens is that basically everybody was concerned, so they went to New York with it, and Kazakh was charged to come down, and they used to call Tazapawan the enforcer at the time, because the Tazapawan would be the one to collect money and stuff like that. When he would travel. So basically, a bond gave me a call and said, "Listen, we want you to come down." I remember the day. It was in March of 2001. March 6, 2001. He said, "I want you to come down because Zaka's coming down, and we're going to talk about what's going on with everything that's going on." So I took that opportunity to address, because being that knowing Kazakh was dealing with geography and dealing with location and all, I took that opportunity to kind of come with the information I got from my Majallah about they having their annual fundraiser, trips to the Sinai Peninsula, saying that was the true mountain of God. Because all the evidence, even the Bible talks in Galatians where it says Mount Sinai, which is in Arabia. Because remember, Arabia was known as Median. Remember, Moses, when he left Egypt, he went up to Media. Remember, his wife was a Median, and his wife's father, the priest of Media.
Mm-hmm.
So Arabia was known as so when he came down. So when Moses was by the mountain, when the brush, became fire, he was a Median. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So because I came down, I was basically kind of new, and I went up with Kazakh. I went up to and me and Kazakh had a strong debate, man. We went at it when I went in there. Because not only while I was mad at the situation with my wife at the time, but also I kind of was kind of understanding that their doctrine was off. You know what I'm saying? Because after that class, everybody thought that Kazakh won that, but when I came out with the map and I talked and I told him, I said, if you was at the mountain of God, where's the cave of Elijah? And when I stunned Kazakh, he couldn't have no response. But everybody went in the uproar, and Kazakh won. He's still on. That's how he was. Because he spoke kind of fast. He's still on. So Bayan had to kind of, like a referee, had to stop it. He said, "Listen, it's a draw. It's a draw." He's like, "Yeah, you come in tomorrow to deal with Banazar about the situation with Yakia." So after that, the next day I had to deal with because after we went over the Mount Sinai issue, the issue came up with Yakia and how she was wrong, and how she was using certain scriptures to kind of validate her going with Tazamah and all of that. Kazakh did bring the point where Christ said, where you're not really supposed to, she's not supposed to go with another man if she's been divorced. Because I kind of basically divorced her once I found that information, and she was not supposed to go with another man. You know what I'm saying? So he brought out the scriptures where it talks about that, where unless it's adultery, she's not supposed to be put away. So the main thing was adultery was going on at the time, and that kind of like was the main reason why that camp broke up. Um, but after that in 2001, I left LA and I left the camp and I went to St. Thomas Virgin Islands, because that's where basically my father's from, and I spent 11 years there, and I got the time to kind of get away from everything, clear my mind, get my sanity back, and that's when a lot of detoxing was going on, where Christ came into my spirit and opened up Matthew 23. He kind of exposed that I was a Pharisee, and that was in 2005 when I took that charm because I bought Mashaba's charm, his hexagon, and I took it off and I threw it away, and that's when Christ started coming into my life, and I remember because I used to work on the dock with the cruise ships, because that's what St. Thomas dealt with tourism. And I had a job there, and on my lunch break, I went across the street and I bought a book where it only had Christ's words. It only had Christ's words only. And I learned that Christ's words was not only just his words, it was a method, it was a style, it was a technique. It was something you had to master. You understand what I'm saying? And it would cleanse, and it would clarify everything. And at that point right there, man, that's when I accepted myself as a disciple of Christ, and that's when everything just started to open up. That's when, as Paul said, he wasn't taught by no man but by the Spirit, because the Spirit was teaching me. He was telling me to go to the Scripture, go to there, it was telling me where to go. It was conducting me, telling me where to go, and that's when I started making that change, and that's when I changed my name to Yah at the start, and then I changed my name to Yahawashi, which means hand of Christ. Just specifying, who my God is, who my Lord is. That's all it is. And me really believing, because you remember when Saul was being recruited on his way from Damascus, when he was being recruited, and Christ came onto him and said, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Remember, Saul was persecuting Christ's disciples. Paul was dealing with them. But Christ said, why persecutest thou me? See, Christ called his disciples, and he called those that's learning from him, he called them him. That's what Christians mean, the Messiahs, the Christ. That's where Christians come from. The Christians were called first Christians at Antioch. They was the apostles of Christ. And then remember, Christ also said that in Matthew 25, when he cast the goats on the left, he cast them into hell. He gave the reason. He said, because when I was alone, you didn't visit me. And they said, when have we saw you alone and didn't visit? He said, well, you didn't do it to the least of my little ones. So I believe wholeheartedly that when we, learn from Christ and he give us the power to teach his word and everything like that, we represent him, we are him. And it don't mean necessarily in the sense that we are him per se. It's like the same thing where, Philip went to him and said, Lord, show us the Father. He said, Philip, have I been so long time with you, and thou have not known me, Philip? He that have seen me have seen the Father. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that he was necessarily the Father per se, but because he is, it even says in other scriptures where Christ said that my Father is greater than I. You see what I'm saying? We just talk about being one. It's talking about being that Christ is in him, he's in the Father, and that we in Christ and Christ is in us. That's all it means. You see what I'm saying? But now Christ is the Most High. Christ, remember, there was a point even when we was in the wilderness, where it was a time where God told Moses, clean my people up and bring them before me, and then they put the white rocks around the mountain, and he told, he gave the instructions on not to pass the white rock, and all of that, because the Lord was coming. The Lord came down on the mountain, as a furnace of affliction and everything, and loud noise and everything, and we couldn't deal with it. And so that's when the Most High was like, man, I can't deal with this people. And he gave us over to Christ. Now the scripture said now we belong to Christ because Christ bought us with a price. That was that whole thing about him being crucified to ratify, you know, us being under Christ. And it was the Most High that coordinated Christ, basically the one that was full authority. You know what I'm saying? He kind of gave it over to Christ as a father because at the whole time it was being prepared for Christ to sit on the throne. And it happened when in Daniel's what talks about in 7:9, he said all the kingdoms were cast down, and one did sit, the Ancient of Days. That's Christ. And then, can you do me a favor, Shasha? Can you do me a favor, Shasha? You hear me? Hello, hello.
If we hear you, he probably stepped away, brother. You said you got to continue.
Okay, can somebody do me a favor? Can somebody do me a favor? Can somebody go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 8, please? Somebody, that's very important.
No, what I'm saying is I'm sure he stepped away for a second, and I'm on the line, so
Hmm.
I can't. I'm actually on my
Okay,
phone. So if you can read it
sorry about
yourself,
that, brother.
until you get until you can
Well,
read
well,
yourself
basic,
until we
well,
get back.
basic, well, basically, if you can, if you can keep that in mind, you can jot down. God said to Christ, He called him God and said, "Thy throne should be forever." God called Christ God, and it said His throne should be forever. So, as we speak, that's why the whole thing about Christ in Revelation say, "I'm Alpha and Omega," and everything. Basically, he spoke about him being the Most High. And then remember, in the prophecy on this lapel, where it says, basically written on him, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. It didn't say Christ anymore. It said King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's where it stands. The kingdom of heaven is established. The kingdom of heaven is established. When you go outside this timeline, you go out to what's really going on. You know, when you look at it, the regeneration is that Christ is on the throne. That's that's why it says that in Matthew chapter 25. And then you got to realize, how things were predestined. It talks about predestined, how things are foretold. Like Christ was able to tell Peter, you would deny me thrice, and all of that, because all these things happened already. You know what I'm saying? All these things happened already. That's why. That's why Moses was able to go up to Mount Sinai, and according to Second Ezra chapter 4, and you read down, uh, the angel Uriel, who was God's intelligence, was able to tell Moses everything from the Genesis to Revelation, because all these things happened already. How Uriel was able to tell Moses what happened in Genesis and then what happened in Revelations, it didn't happen. It happened already. You know what I'm saying? So that's the deepness of the matter. Christ is on the throne. God has coordinated His Son, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. So Christ has the authority right now, and that's what the Most High want. The Most High gave His hand for no. Most High gave Christ's hand for all to kiss, and for His people, which is Israel, uh, to basically be kings with Christ. Christ told Peter, he said, listen, he said, when you follow me, he said, your payment in the regeneration is that you should be sitting upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So you have an order of 12 now, where Christ is judge, and then the 12 apostles, is basically judges as well. So it's judgment that's going on right now. You understand? All these nations and all of that. When they leave here, they go before Christ, and Christ is handing out sentences and verdicts. You understand what I'm saying? He's handing out sentences and verdicts, and all these wicked Israelites are cast into hell right now. Dawam and all these wicked Israelites are cast into hell. They the second death. You understand? So that's what's going on. And I would end with that.
Let me
Why?
let me say something to
What
you
up,
real quick.
bro?
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. It sounds like a great presentation. I just put it that way. But when you say Dollar Woman, I'm going to hell. You also said Dollar Woman came to New York preaching Christ. You know,
Yeah, at one point, yeah, at one point he
yeah,
did. Yeah,
yeah,
but
and I can.
The Taiwan knew back then. The Taiwan knew back then was not the same Taiwan dealt with in Hollywood. He had that same spirit Ariel had on him when he kicked out Lahab for teaching Christ. When he kicked out certain members of SOT. Not one, disrespecting, when they try to come with Christ, uh, you know, uh, uh, disrespecting it and saying it's my way. That same spirit was on Taiwan on that Hollywood Boulevard, and that was the whole reason why I appeared, because the whole setup, I wasn't feeling good to go. I was feeling sick, and that whole thing happened because I saw um, one of his minions, Sadiq, teaching, and then I sent a comment, saying that he don't know what he's talking about and so forth. And right after, I got a call, and he was saying, once you come down, to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and we talk about it. And so, that same day, that was September. That was January 5th. That was January 5th of 2025. That same night, the Golden Globes, my God, and then 3 days later, uh, January 8th is when it was the L.A. Inferno, those L.A. fires that happened. I woke up on that date, January 8th. I woke up in the skies was orange, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got a call. Listen, man, close your windows because of the air pollution. And then when I walked out and I walked to my car, it was ashes everywhere. And then that whole thing, judgment, and then going down. And when I went down to Taiwan, I didn't do nothing but spoke Christ. And then he talked about he don't want to hear it and all of that. That was to expose who he was. That was to expose him, because I came with the idea of Sadiq, and then so happened when I came, old devil of mine. See, that was back in 97, 98 is when he came to New York with that. But remember, like I said, their whole doctrine was off. See,
Let me
at the
interrupt you
time.
for a second. Like I said again, I appreciate your your testimony on finding out who you was and are, and and bringing Christ back in your life, because I believe that we're supposed to follow Christ. Some people say Jesus, some people say Yeshua, Yahawashi, Yoshua. I believe we're
Look,
supposed to follow
Can I say,
Christ. Real
can I
quick,
say this? Yeah, can
let
I
me
say this?
go ahead.
That's the whole point I made. That's the whole point I made when I was dealing with Taiwan in Hollywood. We supposed to, according to the blood of Christ, according to Corinthians, I believe it is, where he talks about edifying. He talks about basically not speaking a foreign language. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Hebrew is foreign to the world. Yahawah is basically Hebrew for the English Jesus.
mhm.
Now, you want to talk about the J and all of that, and all that. The people know the Bible and they know the Lord as Jesus. And so when you say Yahawah, you messing up the edification, because they don't know who you're talking about. He when he say Yahweh Shai Mashayach, he's supposed to say in English it's Jesus, so people know that it's talking about Jesus.
Let
You
me
see what
say
I'm
this to you,
saying?
brother. I agree with you to a certain point. I would say this, and allow me to finish get to my point, because like the third time I'm trying to get to my point. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna go back to what you just said, because I agree with you like 99% on what you just said about the name
Mhm.
in a sense, and I give you my under or understanding of it. But as far as going back to Thalawam, uh, as far as I know, and still know today, he teach Christ, like I was saying. However, he may say a different name, like many uh people call him different names. Even the script said we will call him many names. And he also said that at the end he's going to teach us a pure language. And as far as I've been known, and I've seen the video, it's unfortunate that you two brothers had to get into a discourse, because it just don't look good to see two elderly brothers like that get into a discourse. I haven't done that before myself, because I'm glad to see. Well, I'm good to hear. I'm happy to hear the reason why you left, because I heard him say you ain't been around in 20 years, blah blah blah, and that's the reason why. And you said it hurts you, So I'm glad you got it off your chest. Now, as far as with the name, I'm not going to have a discourse on you with you on that. I would just say this, just like you just explained it to me. We all are babes in this, and you said you was actually teaching the Hebrew, and you know Hebrew, So if I say Jesus, or if I say popcorn, but you say, well, the correct name that we know of, it could be Yeshua, Yahawashi, however you pronounce it in Hebrew, however you want to say it. That's how we see it. And a person can choose to say, okay, well, I speak French. How do you say it in French? How do you say it in German? How do you say it in Swahili? Everybody don't speak English, so they may say it different. Some people speak Bantu, right? And I forgot how they say it in Bantu, so that's without the J and that's without the Y or whatever, so it's hundreds of thousands of different languages. Some people speak in Africa with clicks like that. I have no clue what they're saying, and I'm sure they're not saying Yahawah or Jesus, but we do know the scripture say, well, we're all going to bow on a knee and call him, So I don't want to get into that, but I was interested to hear what you had to say about Thalawam. I would say this, and I don't know, we're almost done. I would say this: your story to me was profound. I like it, and I don't have anything to say negative about it, because that's your story. And if that had happened to me, I can truly say, hey, I'd have walked away from them brothers too, if they know that was going on in my life, and nobody told me, and nobody wanted to. I know about councils, how they would people would beat you down. I understand all of that. As far as a personal thing, but you and that brother, I would say out of all the brothers, now he may teach some things that we don't agree with, but as a moral person, from only what I know, as a moral person, Thalawam, and I don't think nobody's a priest today. I just don't. I think the only high priest is Christ. Yeshua, Yahawah, Jesus. I believe he's the only high priest. That's what the scripture teach. But as morally go, out of all the people I done met in Israel, I can count on probably on 4 fingers. He's one of the ones I could say that have seen him treat people fairly, or have seen, just in my eyes, been a very kind person. I haven't heard you say anything negative about him in his moral scope. So that's all I said, on that. But thanks for your information, man. It's good to hear your story.
I agree with you, Qanath, and I agree with you on Dawam's character, because I remember, see, Dawam was from Long Beach, California. He's from Long Beach, California, and he was basically a local producer. He had artists on there and so forth. And so it was one point where he took me under his wing and everything. But the point I don't like, and what you will see, is that when I'm speaking Christ and you are telling me you don't want to hear it, and because basically because I'm saying it, that's when you messed up, because now you're going up against the Holy Spirit. You understand? And it's tough. And the spirits, the scripture says that a person from his fruit, from his works. And so it was just an expose. It was just exposing what spirit that he's under, because it's a thin line between love and hate, man. You remember when Christ checked Peter, and he said, when he checked Peter and he said, "Get thee behind me." It wasn't Peter. It was that demon that was in him. You see what I'm saying? And that was Peter, man. And they had to pray on him and exorcise that demon. but it's a thin line, you know, and that's why we always have to balance, you know. It's just that at that point, you know, he was exposed, you know, when he did that, you know, and he the one that took it to another level. I just came and said the word of God, of Christ, you know, because Christ said in Matthew chapter 5, "Ye are the light of the world." And I repeated what Christ said in St. John chapter 8 when I said, "I am the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness." And he cut me off, and then I said Christ said that, and then he said, "I don't care what he said." And that's when I you know, emphasize that. I emphasize that. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you after you actually analyze and do post and you slow it up in slow motion, and when he did that, that's when everything went left. You know, and when you start calling me out names and everything like that, calling me a dog and all of that, that's when things went left.
Well, you know what? I would say this, brother, it's very unfortunate, you know, that happened. I saw two men going back and forth over the scriptures, you know, and I would say
Hmm.
there's a word of wisdom because I seen it. This is a word of wisdom, and this is a battle that I fight with, you know, and I kind of fell back on this a little bit because of some things that we're going to announce next week. By the way, brothers and sisters, my y'all see, but I just hope and pray, man, that you and Thalawam can hopefully one day meet and say, you know what, there is no beef, and had that discussion, you know, and maybe
Hmm.
Satan did get involved, you know, and
Hmm.
clean hands can prevail in brotherhood, man. You know, I really, because you sound like a humble brother, you know, and I know
Hmm.
Thalawam, he seemed like he's humble, but I saw the video, you know, and my judgment don't even, what I think of it don't even matter. You know, I just hope that y'all can come to better terms. What I have heard, you spoke very positive about him and said some truths about the doctrine, you
Hmm.
know, that we agree with that's totally false. And I will say this because I haven't been on in a minute about One
Hmm.
West and all that. I don't believe some people, man, are just led astray. Because like you said, you fell into that, and just like I did. And unfortunately, man, a lot of people, I guess that's where they belong. You know, they belong over there, you know, because some people, man, you can beat them and beat them. They just don't want to hear it. You know, they just, they
Hmm.
just, they just refuse to hear what you have to say, man. And I guess they belong there. I know a brother, personally, man, he's with ISBK. I love the brother, you know, but
Hmm.
he didn't hear what we had to say, but they still want to follow out the man, you know. So, you know, all we can do is keep, you know, reading the Bible and pray to the Most
Hmm.
High that we're correct, and hopefully that they will stop following after a man or men, you know, because I don't believe in no troopers. I don't believe in no rank. No man gives out rank on this
Hmm.
earth. You know, people don't even understand what that really meant at that time. You know, nobody's a captain of 5 or 11,000 and all that type. Nah, man, that's OT, and people don't understand the true meaning of that. What that's supposed to mean. Christ is the one going to give you the if it's anything, he gonna give you the ruler over this and over that. We don't rule nothing, man.
Right.
You know, you only rule
Right.
your own house. You pay taxes, government rule. You know, you don't, or he put eminent domain on you and take your damn house. Say, I want to put a highway through it. You don't rule nothing. You know, the only thing you rule is
Right.
your spirit. You have to control. But look, I see real quick. I see JT on here. Shasham, I know you want to say something real quick, man, because I'm not gonna hold too much longer here myself.
Thank you, Qanath.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man?
Appreciate,
Shalom, man.
appreciate them, Qanath.
No doubt, brother.
Uh, Qanath, appreciate them words, brother, and thank you for everything, for having me on and able to speak.
Oh, no doubt, man. This for anybody, man. Come on and want to speak, man. You know, we like having fun, and sometimes we like controversy, man, to get people to hear. You know, and I know people probably it's gonna be a lot of
Absolutely.
smoke, but you brought a lot of revelations that a lot of us have heard. You know, and you went into some areas I'm pretty sure nobody hasn't heard. Maybe the brother's about to speak now has heard some of these things because he's been back there a long time himself. You know, so Shan, you want to say something before you let JT say something?
Before I do that, basically, like I said, I have a book in the making right now. It's in the process of being made, and then when it's finished, I would love to send out some free promotional copies. Anybody interested, for free copies. And then you can kindly give a review, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt. I'm only gonna charge $500, brother. That's it. Hey man, hey,
Trim it down to $5.
People advertising on our channel for the longest. Nobody want to pass
No
the
doubt.
buck.
No
You know
doubt.
what I mean? Let's
No
keep it
doubt. I'll
real.
buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. No doubt. No
That's
doubt.
right.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, for sure. Hey, go ahead, JT, man.
Yeah.
Holler at me. Most I bless.
Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm from the old head, man. I'm from that old school. You out of what, LA?
Yes. Peace be unto you.
Oh, so that's what peace be unto you. Yeah, that's why I don't know you, man, because I was in the 125th school.
Oh, okay.
What year you came in?
1995.
Oh, 95. I came in 92. I stayed into about almost 97, and then I split for like 2 years. I came back in 99, January 99, and then I left for good in September of 99, man, because I got sick of the bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you. I just got sick of the bullshit up in that school. You know what I'm saying?
Bull crap.
All right, BS.
I'm gonna say this too. Dawam said that. So you left the truth. You got to understand. Christ said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life."
Yeah.
Christ said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." So that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
When you leave these codes, that's the of Christ. Because Christ favored independence. You know what I'm saying? He said, work out your own salvation.
But can I say something?
You see that?
Basically, I felt
sir.
I didn't need him. I didn't need him, and I didn't need him anyway. Because basically, I said I came in this walk knowing who I was when I came in there. See, my people, my ancestry go back to our people, the Negroes that was in Spain and Portugal. You know what I'm saying? That's my ancestry because my people was over there. My grandfather came from. He was dark skinned, very dark skinned. He came from Portugal to America, and he taught my father and my father and his brothers and sisters. So I've been knowing this. And my lineage go back to the Commandment Keepers, Rabbi Matthews, and all of that here in New York City. So my people go back knowing this maybe like 80, 90 years, man, something like in that area. You know what I'm saying? Going back to maybe like the 1940s and 30s and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I come out of that. Yeah.
Hey, real quick. Hey, brother, before we get off, I want you to, because I know we got your email. I want you to drop Sham your number because I want to call you because I have a project that's coming up and it seems like you have a humble spirit and you might be interested. So,
yes, sir.
If you could do that, I'd like to talk to you. Hey, Sham, you still on, Sham?
He must have stepped out.
Okay.
No.
Yo, I just talked with Elder Qanath today.
I'm here.
Okay,
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, can he hear me?
I was telling y'all I was here. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, can that brother hear me though?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I was just talking on the phone with Elder Qanath today.
Yeah, I got real close to Qanath. At one point he lived in Atlanta, and
yeah, he's still in Atlanta.
When I came back to Los Angeles, when I came back from St. Thomas 2012, and I came to Los Angeles, and he basically came back from Atlanta to Riverside, and we hung out. I might be Allah. So not a very humble brother.
No doubt.
I'm glad he still have his health.
He's still in Atlanta now.
Hey, JT,
I would say this.
Say who? Say it again.
I would say this.
People talking with feedback.
Go ahead.
I would say this. Qanath is a very humble brother. He speak the truth, and it's just that he not the same. Call himself high priest and all of that. He's very humble now. So that's what that's probably what I'll say about Qanath.
Well, you know who
Well,
put him up
yeah,
to it, right?
let me say this because I gotta say it. He humble, but see, I like the fact you came on this program, man. You know, we've been trying to get, and JT, you know, we've been trying to get Kazak on this program for a minute, man. You know, and the truth is the light. You know, and I don't know if you still following that chart, but like you said earlier, brother, you know that
No,
chart is
because
from the pits
that
that,
is extremely different. Yeah, because
but
he the one that came out and
that chart is
exposed
from
the area.
the pits of hell. You know,
See,
so
Qanath came out.
anybody that's still following that chart right now, man, they need to get more humble. This had the scriptures say, "He who has an ear, let them hear." So here, just take it's a peep, you know, because none of us are getting any younger. You know what I mean? So, like you said, brother, when you had that council, and I believe Kazak was there, right, about what you wanted people to hear, and some people didn't want to hear it, and some did hear it, you know, and I would like for Kazak to come on the program, man, so we could discuss that chart, you know, because like you said also earlier, my brother, we can't use slavery to identify Israelites, but we still using whatever we're using to identify tribes. You know, this is Gad, this is Levi, this is Benjamin, so on and so forth, right? So if we're going to get down to it, you know, I'd rather do it offline. We get down into it, you know, and talk about that. But I would like for Kazak to come on, if not to discuss that, you know, about that chart, you know. But with you, bro, what I'm going to talk about later don't have anything to do with no scriptures or anything. So, hey, Sham, I'm out of here,
I'll
man.
work
I'm
on
out.
that, all right?
I appreciate it. Sham, I'm out of here. Hey, Most High bless everybody. Everybody stay strong, man. Thanks for tuning. Thanks for tuning in. You know, and y'all be hearing from me and Naphtali, Dex, and a few other people real soon, man. So Most High bless.
Okay.
And y'all stay strong, man. Shalom.
Most High bless you too, man.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, JT. So
Yeah. So I was talking with Elder Kazak, man, and we was going over some stuff about that school back in the day, because I had a personal dislike for AREA anyway. You know what I mean? Because to me personally, if that man is wrong, man, he can never acknowledge that he's wrong. I hope you know that, right? Or you seen that? You know
well,
what I mean?
I met Ariel personally when he came down, you know, and when he came down, um, he had he had a problem with two guys, Lamad and Kawakahan, because they came to him about Christ being only high priest, and he couldn't deal with it. So he said wait right there, and he said I'm gonna have Tazadakia come down and deal with that. So time later is when Tazadakia, young Tazadakia, when he was the head of the junior council in New York at the time, and that's when I personally met Tazadakia personally at the time. That was in 90. That was in like 98. He came into the classroom, and he was using in the book of Maccabees when the Greeks was calling certain heads of the Israelites, calling them high priests. Remember that when you go into the book of Maccabees, and
Yeah.
they would call the leaders high priests, and he was using that to validate Ariyah, Yeshai Shah, Kazak being the high priest. And you know, he had the whole congregation at the time, basically lost on that. But I still was aware, along with certain other brothers, that Christ is the only high priest. So that's where you had to, basically the purging going on. It was just a period of purging, because 94 was the purge, and then after that, 96, that was the purge in LA that caused a split with LA, New York, and then you just had a series of purges or splits.
But my thing is, brothers that's claiming they from all these different multiple tribes are high priests.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know, because some of them claim Judah, some of them claim Benjamin, some of them, I think they said Ariel was a Gadite. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, where are they?
Yeah, Ariella.
Or high priests?
Yeah,
Hey,
Ariella
Shem.
was the so-called Gadite.
Hey, Shem,
Kyle
I'm
was a
sorry,
so-called.
I'm sorry, bro, to interrupt. I don't know who this other person is. Let me send him in the chat. Something Ephraim. Sound like he may have been back there in the day. If so, do you know who that is, Shem?
No, but I mean, the link was dropped. If anybody wanted to come on, it could have came on.
Yeah,
But
brother, you can come on. I like to hear what you got to say. Cause sound like you sound like you may have been back there, you know. And when you say Ephraim, I guess I don't know. I guess you supposed to be Northern Kingdom. There's no discrimination over here.
What is it?
But if you want to come on, you can come on.
But no, reason why I said that, because like I said, I never read that where you had all these different Israelite tribes or people claiming they from this tribe that was high priest. And we know, the Messiah was a high priest, even though because the scriptures tell us that what tribe he came out of wasn't concerning priesthood. I'm talking about for everybody else that's claiming that they're a high priest.
Well, the thing is, what people need to understand is that you got to have spirit, because even in the sermon he said, "Blessed are the poor," he said in spirit. He didn't say just blessed are the poor. He said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." In spirit. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of confusion out there. But if you blessed to know that, however you say it, Yahawah, Jesus, however you say it, to know that he's the Son of God, you should get on your knees and be thankful, man, just to even know that. You see what I'm saying? Just be thankful.
That do help, but because everybody know that, you know what I mean? Even the Christians, church.
Well,
I'm talking about when you trying to advance your knowledge, so you won't be deceived about Ben.
Right.
People still been out here being deceived by Israelites. They still out here being deceived by Christians. Because my thing is, what the Lord showed me is that it's a lot of Israelites in the community, and they lost again because they stuck on the man worship. Still to this day, they're not worshiping the Father or the Son. They're worshiping the elders or the so-called bishops or whoever that's running over their camps and congregations. That's why these guys is going crazy over General Yahawah, saying they'll die for him, over Nathaniel. They out there fighting and going crazy.
And that's why it says in Romans, not all Israel is of Israel. And that's why you gotta understand, it's deep. It's deep, man, because when you look at St. John chapter 8, man, these guys in St. John chapter 8, Christ was dealing with, they thought they was Jews. But Christ said, I know you are Abraham's seed. He said, but you do not the things of Abraham. He said, you seek to kill me, and I tell you the truth. He said, this did not Abraham. You understand? And they was considered Jews. They was considered the leaders of the Jews. You understand? And Christ, they look just like, they look just like, we look today with the beards and afros and all of that. But Christ said, "You of your father." You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying about, being thankful, to even know that part, because you're right, Shawsham. A lot of people know the name Christ, but they don't know who he is. You see what I'm saying? So,
their ruler is not Christ to them. Because, like I said, everybody want to sit in the Messiah's seat. That's the problem, and they don't want to reference him. He said he's the way, the life, the truth. No man come unto the Father but me.
Right.
Once you get that information, that's all you need to know. It shouldn't be like your elders should not be sitting on the panel telling you, if you leave an Israelite congregation, your name is going to be written out the Lamb Books of Life. How do you know? Have you ever seen the Lamb's Book of Life? Do you know how my name written in it? Is it in English? Is it in Hebrew? Is it in Greek? Is it Portuguese? Like, you saying all this stuff, but to me, it's like people were fabricating things in their mind to what they want to believe that just isn't true, and that's the way
remember this. When Peter when Peter said that thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God, he said, "Blessed are you, Peter." He said, God gave you that information, so you didn't even know that. You see what I'm saying? So for you to even know certain things, that kind of like uh 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 that kind of like basically let you know who that person is for them to even speak a certain thing. You see what I'm saying? Because it only can come from the Father. Remember in the book of Isaiah, he talks about him opening eyes and closing eyes. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying that you got to be thankful for you to even know certain things. And it wasn't nothing personal against Yahawah at all. I was dealing with him because when he was saying that he don't want to, hear the word of God, and I was coming with the word of God, and he came at me wrong. It wasn't nothing personal about that. That's why I was like, that's why I kind of emphasized where Christ said, "Judge not after the flesh." You know what I'm saying? He don't judge after the flesh. Because the wisdom have no respect of persons, and that's why I respect you, Shashan, because you don't care. You'll check somebody no matter what the title is. I see that in you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what me and you can, because when I went up against Kazak, man, I wasn't afraid. He was, everybody was afraid to to deal with these guys, to speak to these guys. You see what I'm saying? And you can't have no fear in this. And you got to be able to take contact too. When they call you a dog and all of that, you know what I'm saying? The scripture talks
Yeah,
about, you could talk crap about the Son of Man, but he said, when you're talking about the Spirit now, that's unforgiving. When you start talking about the Spirit, you don't acknowledge the truth. You see what I'm
right.
saying?
See, the Lord showed me
Yeah.
that all of us down here is on the same equal playing field. We all waiting for the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. We all waiting for salvation. We all waiting on the Messiah, right? Well,
Yeah,
majority of
exactly.
us don't even believe. But I'm talking about all of us who think alike or supposed to be the Israelites that's saying we in the truth, right? But not everybody on here feel the same way, because these guys here, they want heaven now and heaven in the kingdom. So they want to be served by their own brothers. And you're not supposed to be a slave until your brother when you read the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I be doing everything I got to be doing, serving in captivity, when we all in captivity? I got to work, I got to eat, I got to take care of my family. But you telling me I got to
Right.
give arms to you because you gave me a little bit of information that wake me up and plant the seed. But somebody is giving, planting the seeds for you. So what the Messiah
Mm-hmm.
told me is that the only person who ever receiving alms is the high priest. Even in the book of
Mm-hmm.
Baruch says you send the money to the high priest and the people that's in
Mm-hmm.
Jerusalem. Ain't no high priest here but the Messiah. So if we ain't got no king
Yes.
residing over us, why do I got to pay somebody tights saying you got to pay a priest fund and all this crap that they talking? Now you got these guys that's rich, but yet the people in these congregations in these churches are suffering. Some of them is becoming homeless. They're taking brothers SSI checks. They charge you
Mm-hmm.
high holy day fees, 10%, another 20%. And it's like you getting taxed tripled by the government, and you're getting raped and robbed by your own people. Then these people going
Mm-hmm.
crazy because you're kicking them out. They don't know what to do, where to go. So they are destroying the sheep. They're scattering them.
Yeah,
So how are we being helped?
absolutely.
So that's what I'm
So
saying.
now
This
you
is
understand.
madness that I've been seeing for years, and I'm sick of it. And then I've been telling
See,
people,
now you understand. Now
yeah,
you understand how I felt when I. Now you understand how I felt when I dealt with Taiwan on that, because it's not only just Taiwan. It's Israel United in Christ. It's Yahana. It's all of them. You see what I'm saying? Um, that same anger, what I'm saying? And it's a righteous anger too. It's indignation. You know what I'm saying? It's the same anger that Christ went against the money changers, and he threw down the money changers and all of that. You see what I'm saying? That kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I
right,
felt that it is time now to not be so silent, because the scriptures even say you won't learn to be blind leaders of the blind. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
it's a spirit that makes you want to now address the situation. You see what I'm saying?
See, I've been telling brothers,
So
why every year you got to get a new garment? Why all these different how holy days you got to get this color, you got to wear this, you got to wear that. You got the poor society of any community and people. everybody don't make the same kind of money. Everybody cannot afford these expensive garments you getting them to buy for every year Passover and every this and every that. Then people got to do it because, well, we got to pay for it. We got to fit in. And that don't make sense to me, right? We are people in captivity. We struggling. Why can't we come as we are? Where, even if our garment old, and I wore it 10 years straight, so what? I got on a garment with fringes. That's all that matters or whatever. Not, I got to get this new garment every year to match. Everybody got to be color coordinated and it's becoming like a like I told people before. I said, man, if y'all look at Israel, because the Most High was showing me this, you know what I'm saying? The Messiah was showing me this. He was telling me, look, go look at Tazadakia Passover, how people crying and they falling out. Now, since one has fell, the next one has stepped up and redoing the same thing. Now you see Nathaniel doing the same thing, exact same way, crying, people falling out, riding on a horse. It's the same
this
thing.
man came in riding a horse.
Right.
Man, I'm telling you,
doing
man.
it. And I was like, yo, just watch and look. It's just like when you watching the Super Bowl and all the games and stuff, and they
the pageantry,
over and over, the way it's packaged. And I kept telling people, and I was showing videos and different clips of this stuff, and I was like, yo, just look and watch. The Most High is showing y'all, but y'all eyes can't see it. It's a regurgitation of the exact same thing. Who's going to be the next big leader, and who's going to run Israel? And Ricard from GOCC said when he was like, we're not dealing with no other Hebrew camps. GOCC is the way and the truth, and you ain't getting into the kingdom if you ain't coming through the gathering of the Church of Christ. I'm like, okay, show me that in scripture. See, this is how you keep people brainwashed. And I was like, you know what? And I said this on the last show. I'm gonna say it again. The only way Yahawah is going to be exalted on this earth, where we're going to turn to him, is all these Hebrew Israelite camp leaders must be killed off. And I'm not sorry to say that.
Champ, let me know when I can speak on that.
Okay, because if they don't be all killed off, these people not going to stop worshiping these men. That's the issue.
Yes.
Worshiping them, Yahawah is never going to be exalted. Every last one of them need to die and be killed off. And I'm talking about righteously through the Lord.
That's why I told him to his face. That's why I told him to his face, man. You know, and I feel sorry for him. I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry for him because that's that cult mentality. You know, when you blind, how you gonna see anything? How you gonna know anything if you're blind? You know what I'm saying? But it's not about him, it's about exposing him. You know what I'm saying? Get away from these brothers. You see what I'm saying? You know, we have freedom and liberty in Christ. You know, we go to him for the answers. You see what I'm saying? And brothers like yourself and others that have the information, he will provide us a way of downloading that data and helping free up other minds. But I agree with communication. You know, because within these cults and organizations, man, they don't communicate. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I appreciate you brothers, unifying brothers and, going over information and having a healthy debate, agreeing or disagreeing, but we all come out with edification because it's not only about us, it's about the world. You see what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, people are watching your programs around the world. You see what I'm saying?
True. But like I said before, that'll never happen with these guys because as long as these dudes trying to be famous, get money, now they doing all the things that they said we shouldn't be doing years ago. They infiltrating in the Israelite movement. They brought gang activity in the Israelite movement. They brought the young pop culture.
They did.
They took all the hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Finish real quick. They brought gang culture into the Israelite movement. They took all of the militancy out of the Israelite movement. They let these young boys with no discipline who shouldn't even be running camps. That's not even, some of us wasn't even the age of 30. Okay. Bringing all this gang culture and street mentality with bulletproof vests and guns and all this extra dumb stuff in the community and let these people infiltrate the community and destroy what the Hebrew Israelites was building for us militants wise, sticking together and things like that. So when they allowed all this to happen, this is why we have these so-called younger camps that, these guys, they just want to join this type of camp. They don't want to join these type of camps because they don't want to be around the older guys and the elders because they know, hey, we're not going to be allowed to be on the street corners teaching with baseball hats on and Air Jordans and Nikes and all that. We got to put a garment on and, some military boots and some cargo pants and stuff like that. Now it's everybody wearing fitted hats, jeans, bulletproof vests, maybe a gun on a hip, depending on what state you in, Air Jordans and a Bible, or, well, not even a Bible no more, just a cell phone looking up scriptures. That's what it came to. Everything has changed now. So when people see the Israelites, they see a bunch of young looking people, or they don't see no ancient men or no wisdom out there no more. And I know they would like to say, well, it's just appearance, but appearance mean everything. You know what I mean? Just like when you go play football or anything, right? So appearance means something too. If you're out there with big shirts on, baggy jeans, and you're trying to, appear for a more hip hop thuggish look. But that's what everything has changed now, because they allow these guys to come in and do all this stupid stuff. Now everybody in the community of rappers, they used to talk about Tazadakia. He owned a rap label called Black Label this and Black Label that. Now everybody making rap albums, this and different camps and all this stupid stuff. And that's what they're doing now. All the stuff that they saying they wasn't allowed to do. All these white people, these Edomites, all these white people Edomites. Now you got white people all in the camps. White women, white men, white guys marrying black girls, and white black girls marrying white guys, and black people in GOCC, all types of madness, man. It's just crazy. And they're allowing this behavior to go on. JT, go ahead. I know you wanted to speak on a thing about
in the 90s. I say this in the 90s, understand, in the 90s, a lot of people that was in the Desert Shield War. Remember that Desert Shield War that happened in Iraq? A lot of 92. Yeah, 92. A lot of these soldiers and everything was coming into New York. They was coming into Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. One of those guys was Mashaba, and then Kawakaba Mat. Kawakaba Mat was a former Crip, and he was with
was that the short brother, short dark skinned brother?
I know.
No, I don't have a problem with so-called gang members changing their life and becoming Israelites. What I'm saying about gang culture and how it infiltrated into the community now is you got known gang members still wearing certain colors, certain fitted hats that represent their gang, and they'll be on the streets teaching like people don't know what they're doing. Gang members know what you're doing. We can see how gang attire and how you wear your clothes and certain hats and what set it means. And I'm saying you should not bring that culture into this culture. The scripture says, should a thought of iniquity have fellowship with God? No, you cannot bring that to the Israelite culture.
But what I'm saying is that's who initially brought it in, because you gotta understand, Kawakab, was assisting Ariella in building up these trooper programs. He the one that got clearance from Mashta, Ariella, to start the trooper program. And you gotta understand, back then they was wearing red and blue gis. You know what gis are? That's the outfit, like the karate outfit.
Karate gis.
Yeah. I remember
it used to be red. It used to be red and blue. Blue represents Crip gang. Red represents blood gang. They was using those two gis. And then you gotta understand. Yeah, you gotta understand.
That was in 94, bro. 94.
Yeah.
That's when the trooper. That was. Can I say this quick? That was when the trooper program began. The first one.
Yeah.
94 to 96. Yeah. The first class was 94 to 96.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, please, everybody. The brother Burrell in the back. Can you show your face? I don't remember if you ever been on here. Okay, all right, I'll let you on. Okay, go ahead, y'all.
So I'm saying, I remember a 96 Passover where Kawakab was throwing up Crip signs, man. They had performances. Shayala performed. It was in Lamert Park. It's an area in LA that's famous. Brothers go. Back in the days, it was very famous for brothers go to perform hip hop or whatever in Lamert Park. We had a Passover there in '96. Shayala performed and all of that. And here's Kawakab dancing, and throwing up the Crip song. sea walking and
Right,
all of that.
and see,
So,
that's what I'm saying.
so
Yeah, that shouldn't be going on. But
yeah,
I'm saying that, listen, I'm a gang member
yeah.
myself. I'm not dissing gangs. You know, I look
Uh-huh.
at like being in the gangs just like being in any type of fraternity. When you go to college or you're a Mason or people joining different fraternities, you got street fraternities as well. You know, drug gangs or whatever you dealing with, right? It's good and bad and
Uh-huh.
all, whatever you dip in, right? But I'm saying, but when it comes to this, right, you do not
Right.
implement that lifestyle into the Hebrew Israelite
Yeah,
lifestyle
because
and culture.
it's like the scriptures say, Paul even said that. He said, behave. He said, listen, he said, we all have the old man that we wrestling against, man. It's like a
Right.
Siamese twin. You know what I'm saying? It's a symbiotic twin. Like when you go and take a piss, you know what I'm saying? Say the old man go to take a piss, the good man is there with him. You see what I'm saying? Because you still have that old man that you're wrestling with. But
Right.
Paul will always say, you got to behave when you're around a novice, or you got to behave when you're around those that are green, because listen, you can destroy their spirit. You can
And that's what I'm
destroy their
saying.
spirit. You can even destroy them before they even get started, and the blood is going to be on your hands. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Shasha.
I've been around brothers that did things with other brothers, and they was watching brothers shouldn't be doing certain things, and brothers like, yo, you supposed to be an example for the younger brothers, and the younger brothers like, well,
Yes.
this brother doing this, so we thinking it's cool, and I be like, you know, we got to behave a certain kind of way around people because, you know, it'll influence the younger generation, and that's why I was saying about the disconnect with the generation. I kept telling the other brothers years ago, brothers was calling me elder, and I'm like, bro, I'm not an elder. You know, I'm just a young guy in the truth. Don't
Well,
call me elder, 'cause I'm not that. You know, but other brothers
remember,
wanted to be called the elder because they had power and status, and they would run the younger brothers because they saw the opportunity to be, you know, like one of the older elders and just using power over the other brothers because they wanted that title. You see what I'm saying? See, I would never like that because I didn't care for it.
yeah.
So
Can I say this real quick? Real quick. Remember, this Z generation is in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, where it talks about mischievous women should bring forth monsters. You understand? And mischievous women should bring forth monsters. I never knew what that scripture means. When you look at this generation right now, they're a bunch of monsters, man. It's like they are very different from previous generations. This zombie generation here. That's what the scriptures mean about that. That's what the scriptures also talks about these Pharisees going out there and converting people to be worse than them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Tasadakia and Arya. See, Tasadakia basically, came in young, right? But then he grew to become worse than them.
right.
You see that? You see that? So that's exactly what you're talking about, Sharshan. When you talk about this generation is detached from previous generations, they don't want to. They don't want to learn. They don't want to. They don't know about their elders, or they don't know about their predecessors or people before them, and they disrespect people before them. You know what I'm saying? That's the scripture that talks about the child against the father and the father against the child, but
Mhm.
it's getting bad and worse. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's very important what you're doing. It's very important, JT, of you bringing out your experience and testimony, because you want to at least have some of the younger generation to know the history. You know what I'm saying? Because they disrespect us that been in way before YouTube, or so they can't Google us up. They can't Google you up, JT. Before YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta tell your story in the
Right.
in effect yeah
Because
of
Yahawah, he was telling lies for years to his ISUPK members about all the other Israelites.
mhm.
Yeah, saying put a lot of false information out there. But see, brothers wasn't really going at him for years, and I didn't understand why. But when man Elder Qanath started about what it's been about maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, we started about 6 or 7 years ago, we started going at all these different brothers for the lies, and definitely started calling out ISUPK. Then we started saying other brothers starting to speak up more because we didn't care about what nobody was saying. We was telling the truth. Like, y'all brothers been lying so much to put a false narrative out there on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And Well, Elder Tahar, he always been speaking how he felt. He ain't cared. Elder Tahar was like the only Israelite I ever saw really going off talking about a lot of stuff that happened back in the old One West, calling people snakes and the devil. I heard him talk about crazy stuff the most out of anybody before anybody else was talking. It was always Elder Tahar. He didn't care. He talked everything about One West and why he didn't like this person, that person, this person, that person. And I didn't really never believed a lot of that stuff. I just thought he was like a older, bitter elder, but then I come to find out a lot of stuff he was saying was true about why he didn't like this person. And
I met Yahawah. I met Yahawah in 96, 97. He came from Philadelphia. He came down and visited Los Angeles. And he came to the school and everything and came to Venice Beach and taught as well. And, you know, Yahawah has changed a great deal. Yahawah used to be, you know, quiet. He didn't speak a lot, graceful, clean, fit. He was fit. You know what I'm saying? Now look at him. You know, that spirit, that demon that's in Yahawah, man, got Yahawah under complete possession. You know, gained a lot of weight. You know, the way he talk now, he didn't talk like that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful, man. Yahawah is not, not how he was, and that's why you have to be very careful because once you end up like how the King Saul was, how he changed. Where you had to basically play the harp to exercise that demon out of him. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be. That's why you got to be humble. That's why you definitely got to be humble. But yeah, man.
Okay, let
it's
me
a
let
shame.
our brothers get in real quick because they popping on. JT, go ahead. You wanted to say something about what I said earlier, and then we gonna let the brother Brill go. Then
Nah, I'll jump in later. Let them go.
all right, Brill, go ahead, Brill. You want to say?
Well, no, I just wanted to add on to your conversation. It's funny how a lot of these camps started from breaking off on other camps. And I was asking a lot of members in different congregations, like, if y'all are following the same scriptures, why aren't y'all just one group? And basically the answer I got is what you guys were saying, personal problems. But that should be beneath, that should be lower. Like if you're preaching and being holy, you should be able to be above that and congregate with your brothers.
You gotta understand the scriptures talks about the plant that God didn't plant. You see what I'm saying? He said the plant, he said the trees that God didn't plant, he's gonna pluck up, he's gonna root up, pluck up and cast away. You see what I'm saying? They are not of Christ. They was founded through when you go back to the history, you go back to Windward, Matthew Windward,
Out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, you gotta understand. That's not what Christ talks about, how he's going to set his church around the rock, Peter. He said he's going to build his church upon Peter, and then from there, you know what I'm saying? So you got so why is divisions and all that? Because these are the trees that God didn't plant. You see what I'm saying? And you got to understand something. God is coming up and testing their works, and after a quarter, when they don't pass, he gonna purge them. He's checking everybody works, man. That's why you got to be very careful when you basically you have an organization and all that. You got to know that you're gonna get checked. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a certain season, a certain quarter, you know what I'm saying? Where the Lord says that you fail, oh man, he's gonna serve you. It's serving time. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
why I retired buying and told Elder Qanath we're not doing that no more. We're not going to grow no more because I realized that dealing with a lot of people in Israel, some of these adults is worse than children, man. And it's like they are stressed out from all the BS that goes on in Israel, counseling and this and that, people crying over dumb stuff and things that they could work out amongst themselves. And it's like you find more older people misbehaving more than kids. And I was like, I see why the Most High call us little children. Because like you're adults knowing better, but you still doing these things. You know what I mean? And then so many of these guys dealing with lust of the flesh, so many of these guys dealing with vices. Like I said, the lesbianism that's going on in the community, the secret homosexuality and the down low brothers that's in the community. Now we got trans people marrying people in the community, the people that's into witchcraft and warlockism and stuff that's in the community. So for me, I had to stay away from that. And the biggest thing that made me even madder, and I'm glad I separated from everybody, is when brothers was all right with elder men sleeping with teenage kids and tried to justify with scriptures. Justify a 50-something-year-old man marrying a 12, 13-year-old child. So, and pedophilia. So for me, I say, you know what? These people is crazy. I don't want to deal with none of that stuff. You know what I mean? These people sick, they need healing. I don't have the power to heal nobody. But for me, I don't believe in just because you say that you was you might have molested somebody or raped somebody before, and now you in Christ and you change. Good, Most High bless. But you're not hanging around me. I'm sorry. You're not hanging around my kids. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't no fool. I'm too wise for that. Okay,
you gotta be protected.
We're in the flesh. You get tempted. So I'm not going to say and say, oh yeah, he raped somebody and he repented for that, but he not going to do that again. Man, come on, stop playing. I ain't putting nothing past anybody. We're in the flesh. We get tempted.
Listen,
devices. I ain't saying nobody can't change, but for me, I feel like when you do certain crimes or certain things in life, you got to separate from people who do certain things, because you can do a lot of things in life and say you didn't change, and you know, blessings to you, but ain't no molester being around my children. Ain't no rapist being around my children. It's not going to happen.
Say that Shawshan. Say that because
Yeah, because
he
I
said that
agree.
he
Because
led
there's
us.
some things that
He
are
said,
reprehensible.
yeah, he said he led us as sheep amongst the wolves, man. So you have to be protective like that. Because Christ even said, he said he
Hello.
will lead us as sheep to wolves. So you got to
Do you
be
hear
very
me?
protective.
Yeah, go ahead. Unknown
Yeah,
one. Most High bless, brother.
Hey,
yeah.
I just want to let everyone know. Thank you for the prayers. I was in the hospital for a few months. I have heart failure. Even though I'm doing everything right, you know, eating well and stuff, I just ask like you guys pray for me as I
Oh
go
yeah,
through
we'll
this
definitely
time.
do that. Definitely send some prayers up,
Yeah,
family.
they
For
had to put a device on me because I was literally about to die. My my life flashed before my eyes. Not kidding. You know,
so you got a what is it? Like a pacemaker, or what they call it, like
it's a device. It's called the LVAD. They
okay.
said if I eat well, you know, lower my sodium and stuff, the device is going to like lower my heart back to normal again because my heart was enlarged.
Oh, okay, brother. Well, we definitely praying, you know, everything work out. You know, the Most High got the last say on everything. So, you
Yeah,
know,
can I ask you one more thing before I go? Can I tell you about my dream before
yeah, go ahead,
I
bro.
got the
Bring it up.
LVAD price?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a dream. It was like an angel was telling me to go to this white building, and he said that white building, it was nice. He said if you go over there, you're not coming back. So I was like, I walked towards it. I was walking, and then the angel was like, stop. You gotta go back. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Yeah,
Wow.
appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your testimony. Family, please pray for the brother unknown one. You know, send some prayers in the air for the brother. You know, and all to all our brothers and sisters that's going through affliction, or and our elder brother Midwest Judite. You know, pray for my stepfather. He's in the ICU right now. He had a stroke, dealing with bleeding on the brain for my stepfather Thomas, and anybody else that may be going through affliction in the family and in the nation of Israel. We pray, you know, healings and speedy recovery for all of them. But yeah,
Amen.
so yeah, definitely.
Amen.
But yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. But this is why, you know, I feel the way I feel about what's going on in the nation of Israel. Is people don't want to talk about the stuff that's going on in the community, and it's a lot of sick behavior. And like I said, when men is okay with pedophilia and they don't think there's nothing wrong with an elder man sleeping with a teenage child, and they are right with guys disrespecting us and telling us to get off their penis and all this other stupid stuff because you know you want to fight for somebody who believe in marrying a child is okay. And it's just the things like that that bothers my spirit, and brothers try to use scripture to justify, you know, sick behavior, even trying to look up state and city laws. Like that ain't got nothing to do with our culture. You know, they only want to use this systematic culture and this society to benefit them when they want to do something. But if it don't benefit us, then they'll try to find any and everything to come up with an excuse. And it's just like even when we deal with the polygamy, the multiple marriage, you know, in this law of the land, they say we only supposed to have one wife in America, but brothers would go outside of that, you know, and using their law to marry multiple wives, which I'm not against, because there's no scripture saying we can't have multiple wives in our scripture. But I tell people all the time, when it comes to the scriptures, you cannot be biased. You see what I'm saying? Biased.
You're saying, can I say something quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
And if you're going to do something to that magnitude, keep your goddamn mouth shut. That's the problem, main problem with a lot of dudes in this. They get on the goddamn social media and they tell all their goddamn business. You know what I mean? That's the problem with a lot of these dudes.
That problem in Israel is because of this, JT. Dudes want to be seen. They want to go to the Passover. They want to have 4 or 5 wives on their arm. Look at me, look at me. You know, they want all these other brothers to admire them like they doing something great, or they doing some great works. You know what I'm saying? That's where the issues come in at, because people want to display themselves as they somebody fantastic. This is my house. These are my kids. This is what I got. Look how blessed I am. And then they trying to cause other brothers to be jealous, or y'all just don't like me because I got this many wives and this and that. And then this is why you had all these different things going on where brothers is creeping in into brothers' wives' inboxes, telling it people this and telling people that. Like, it's just stupid. You know what I mean? Like, your business and what you go on in your household should not be involved in with the church. Your generals or your bishops, they shouldn't be knowing what's going on in your household. That's between you and your wife. As long as it ain't nothing you beating on the sister, anything against the scriptures, they shouldn't be dictating what goes on. Your wife shouldn't have to call your leaders or elders on doctrine and teachings and things like that. Everybody has ups and downs in marriages. That's just life. But the way that they doing in these churches, they're trying to control everything that you do in your household. Your whole day must be about whatever we got going on in this church. It's not supposed to be like that. We live in a real world. And the problem with the Israelite community is they're trying to turn what they building into a fantasy where the outside world not real. You go to work, you see people, they're going to be celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. You're going to see all types of stuff going on, festivals, just like when Abraham was down in Egypt and they went out to have a good time at whatever was going on in Egypt. It's the same thing here. My thing is, I'm not running from reality or truth. I'm going to know who I am. I know I'm an Israelite. I know I'm a Jew. I know this and that. I know I don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. I know I don't celebrate these holidays. I know I got to work in society where they do certain things and they don't recognize us as Jews or this as Israel. But myself, I separate from society and live how I'm supposed to live. But I'm not going to live in a fake fantasy world where my whole life is about Israel and I don't see what's going on around me. That's an oxymoron. And that's what they're trying to do to everybody else, to have them thinking that this isn't real. It's all about what's going on in your church and just occupy that. No, because how are you going to keep up with the signs and the times if you don't know your surroundings? How you ain't going to know what's going on and what's going to happen and what's coming to pass if you're not paying attention to the wars, if you're not paying attention on what's going on over here, if you're not paying attention to these embargoes, if you're not paying attention to these famines and these shutdowns and these food shortages? How you going to know anything if you so caught up in just them trying to keep your face into scriptures? There's nothing wrong with reading the Bible and learning. We have to learn, but you got to still be aware of the world that's around us, because if we're not, we're going to miss out on everything that's about to happen and not even see it coming, because people trying to keep you distracted and keep you paying.
So I got to be excused. I got to take care of something, but I want to thank you once again, and it was a pleasure meeting JT and Drill. Also, Qanath said that he want me to leave some information to you. So he can
post it in the private
talk.
chat back here. If you look in the back, see the private chat, you can put your number or whatever back there, and I'll send it to him.
Okay.
If you can see
yes,
it.
sir. And
chat.
Yeah. I want to thank you once again, and hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you for having me on, and I just want to say shalom to everybody, and amen. Peace.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Or you can email it to me if you want to email it.
Okay. I 100% agree with you about how they're trying to turn this into a fantasy. Like whenever I hop on Instagram, I see a video about, quote unquote black Hebrew Israelites. It's the same thing: sunglasses, acting tough, kissing the boot, but nobody is really teaching. They're not really edifying the people.
And the Lord showed me that we shouldn't be doing that either. We should be making these nations bow down, kiss down boots, stomping on them. You know what I mean? Because it's not time for that. It's
And also we in captivity, so like,
but it's not a time to making people do that right now.
Yeah, because we ain't got no power. So like you were saying, everything you gotta suffer. Like this is basically your punishment for what happened to our forefathers.
What if these people get offended and these people going to want to go to war because of stuff that they doing out here in these streets to these people? That's why I said, man, you got to be wise. You shouldn't be making people bow down and kiss the boot and do all that stuff. No, leave these people alone. When judgment comes, it's going to come, and it's going to come right. That's all you should be worrying about, is when the judgment come and the time that they should be doing certain things. But right now, ain't no time to be making nobody kiss your boots. What is you getting out of making somebody kiss your boots? It's screaming Qum Yahawah. Nothing. It's stupid.
It's a personal power fantasy.
Right. And the Lord,
and look at these camp leaders that run these camps is dumb as hell. They ain't got no sense.
Yeah. Well, again, like you were saying also earlier, a lot of this is a mixture of hood culture and Hebrew culture. So a lot of people, they couldn't be something in their world. They find out they're Israelite. Now I get to cuss niggas out on the street. I can talk crazy and debate
around them. Want to be tough now. I'm the leader. People got to listen to me. And that's what I was telling everybody. These guys who was never nobodies, probably some sucker niggas, ain't even that tough or that great or nobody they was. They the ones that's running the show and sleeping with everybody women. And I'm like, y'all letting these niggas do this? Like, come on, bro. You got to be crazy. You could
the safest thing to do is teach your woman at home. Don't never bring around these goddamn snakes.
I was in this.
Yeah, but even then, that's sad. If you're supposed to be men of the cloth and all of this, I shouldn't even have to worry about bringing my family around you. But I always say they niggas first, then the Israelites.
Hey, hello. I came back.
No problem.
You don't mind if I tell my testimony?
Go ahead.
Yeah. This testimony about my heart. I have people in my family that have heart issues, hereditary, like my granddad and stuff, and like a lot of people on my mother's side. So August of 12th last year, I was going to work, and I work a lot, and like my lungs start filling up with fluid. I was like, what is this, like a cold? And my throat started getting like sore. So I was like, I told my top head manager, because I was a manager, I think I still am if I go back, because I'm actually on leave right now. But they told me, you need to go to the hospital, Jonathan. That sounds bad. So I went to the hospital. My stepdad, who was my real dad, I call him my real dad, he drove me over there, and we weighed in there, and my blood pressure was like 216 over 160.
Man, you
and my heart rate,
the same thing that I just experienced with my stepfather, taking them to the hospital because he had a stroke and didn't know it, and his blood pressure was crazy. Yeah, he busted a blood vessel in his brain and had bleeding on the brain.
Oh my God.
Better now. But yeah, I had to carry him, pick him up, and take him down the steps and get him in a car, rush him to the hospital. Me and my mom, helping my mom do it. But yeah, man, this story sounds just like what I went through some weeks ago.
And I was like, I thought it was a cold. I get cold every now and then in August. And they was like, no, you got heart failure. I was like, what? I was healthy, doing everything right. I indulge every now and then because we all not perfect. I eat my salads, my chicken breasts, and she just said, you got heart failure. You need to stay here for a week. I was like, what? So I had to stay there for a week. They had to put me on Percocet, everything just to have me to get out of the pain and go to sleep. So I was off, and then I was out of the hospital. Then they said, your injection fraction is lowering. I was like, why is it lowering so much? And it said, you can't keep the medicines down. I was like, what? I take herbs and stuff and do everything right. And they were like, no, you're going to have to go to it's called the Six Hearts in Columbia. It's called MUSC, Medical University of South Carolina. So I had to go there. And I was there for like almost 2 weeks. And one of the, he was a black man, by the way. He was in cardiology. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I got to go home. I got to get ready for work. I got to start managing these people. I got to get, I got to put everything in place, ordering and stuff. And he was like, you can't go. You won't survive. You won't survive in like 3 months. I was like, what? And I was getting angry. I was like, they was about to call the police. And it was like I was about to fight this guy, which he wasn't. He was trying to save me.
Oh, he was like, trying to let you leave.
Yeah. He was like, look, if you were my brother, if you were my blood brother, I would suggest you go to Charleston. Charleston is a huge, they have a huge heart program over there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's big. It's like the hospital is huge. So I was like, no, I'm not going there. Cause I have this thing about doctors and stuff. And he was like, okay, I can't do anything about it, but you do your thing. So he gave me like, I had to get Entresto, I had to get like a Spirolacto, everything, all the medicines. And then it come to find out that I had H. pylori, which is a virus, stomach virus, that aggravated like my heart. My heart rate went up too. So that further enlarged my heart. So I was at home and I had to get my mother and everyone else because I wasn't breathing. I was about to die because like when I was looking like at my computer screen, everything, it was like it was going black. I was basically about to die because my heart rate was going up. My normal heart rate was like 130 to about 170, which is, I was about to get a stroke. You talked about a stroke. It was going to be a bad stroke. And then I called my parents. I was like, I got to go to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital. They took me on the EMT, and they said, okay, let's go. So it took like an hour, and because it's pretty long from Columbia, Charleston. Mm-hmm. They took me there. It was like 2 hours. So I had to go there, and a team of doctors came. I'm pretty sure you know, Sharsham, because you're in the medical field. Mm-hmm. And they were like, it's a good thing you came because your heart was at 7%. If you didn't come, you would have died. I was like, what? I was like, I'm healthy. I took herbs. I eat salads. And they come to find out that I had genetic mutation, hereditary of a enlarged heart in my family. Mm-hmm. They call it cardiography. I think pretty much, the medical term of that. Mm-hmm. I had to stay a month in there. And they were like, we're going to have a meeting Tuesday. And we're going to put you either on transplant lists or we're going to give you an LVAD until you get a transplant. So I was like, okay. So they decided to put me on the LVAD because it was kind of hard for them to get the heart right now. I was at second stage heart. About second stage transplant list. I'm now on the third stage, but they're seeing a lot of like good things, saying my heart is doing well. They just have to put me back on my medications that I used to be on. But I was like throwing up each and every day. I could not keep food down. And this was after the H. pylori bacteria. So they were doing all that. They were trying to put my heart back, to a better, ejection fraction rate. I didn't even know about EF. I'm like, because I'm healthy. I was like, I don't know anything about strokes and heart failure. So I had to go through the surgery. The surgery was like 16 hours. Yeah, because the medication, I couldn't, my stomach couldn't take the medications, the anesthesia right afterwards. So I was in there for like almost 16 hours. Then it was I went in there Tuesday. Then the next day was Wednesday. And then they had to they had to, I guess, put me down on the bed because I was about to fight like the nurses and stuff when you get out of that anesthesia.
Yeah.
About
yeah. My son the same thing. He was trying to break out. They told him, "You can't walk, sir." He was like, "I gotta get out of here." He
I was about to fight, man.
People and everything, but he was when he woke up, man, they was like he had the strength for 3 men. They had to strap him down because he was so strong. My stepfather was 79, man. He had power like that, throwing people off of him.
Damn. Yeah, but I hope he's doing okay. But I was only there for a week after surgery. I say, "You okay? You can go." I was like, wow. So my recovery rate was very high because people usually when they get to LVAD, they're there for like almost a month, 2 months, 3 months, because some people can't take it. Not everyone can get it, but I'm doing better. My heart is doing better, my chest, everything. Because I asked what's his name to pray for me, F.O.P.E, what's his name? Your cousin.
Qanath,
yeah. I asked him to pray for me. Everybody was like all the Hebrews and all the Christians I knew, they were like, "Okay, what?" It was like, "Jonathan, you going through that?" "Oh yeah, we're gonna pray for you, man." So everything's going good right now, and I just wanted to tell that testimony because anything can happen. Because I was, I wasn't arrogant or nothing, but I had plans for this year. I had a big bank account. I was doing great. And then, this happened.
That's how it always be.
Facts. I don't mean to interrupt. Actual question. If you was to get tested beforehand, would they have found it since it was genetic?
Well, first stage, you don't really know. I didn't really know. It just happened. So the gene can it can lay dormant, but then it can come out. And then you get heart failure because I only had 2 months to live. I was about to die. Like literally, they told me you were about to die, man. And it happened so fast. I was like, what the heck? I was like, man, I was on top, doing everything good, eating well, and just I told my parents, like, this happened so fast, man. And I'm still surprised by it, but it's a good thing that the Most High, He blessed me to be here because I don't think I don't think He want me to die yet. Everybody got their time, but
that you still here because that testimony about that white building, brother, that gives people something to think about. And when he told you, if you go to that
because I was about to go to that white building, man. That was a nice white building too. I was like what? I was about to go there. I was like, it was beautiful. It was tall, and the angel was like, "You need to go here. It's your time." And then he said, "Nope, it's not. You gotta go back." I was like, "Dang, I gotta go back there." I was like, "Yep, you gotta go." So I woke up in the the hospital room, and I'm still confused by everything. But the doctor said, if everything turns out great, and you eat right, and lower your sodium and stuff, and your heart ejection fraction rate goes up again, like to 40 or 50, we can take the device off of you. But for right now, I'm like 9 weeks out of the hospital. So it's still some time. But I'm going to get there. That's all I got to say. Thank you. Shalom.
Amen.
That's what's up. I was in a similar predicament like 2 years ago. I was going blind. The doctor I was taking 150 milligrams a day. Come to find out, I was only supposed to be taking 30, and I almost lost my eyes.
Yeah, it's
health is
I'm gonna let
wealth.
you get back to your let you guys get back to your conversation. But thank you.
Nah, I mean, I think it's pretty much done. It's pretty late, but yeah, health is wealth, though.
But I appreciate y'all, brothers, man. I pray the Most High, continue blessing y'all and y'all being good strength and health. And like I tell everybody, man, appreciate the time you giving on this planet, because everybody ain't giving the same time. We all in our spirits in these these fleshly body vessels, and all these body vessels that your spirit take on ain't great. Some of them is good, some of them is bad. Some people get developed, not fully developed right. Some people do. Then some people got chronic genetic illnesses from their parents. You know what I mean? It just happens to be that way. Heart disease running my family. Unfortunately, my older sister and myself are the two that inherited the genetic heart disease. She got heart disease, I got heart disease. Unfortunately, it just be that way. You know what I mean? But these are the fleshly vessels that we use, So, and some people got it worse than us.
Yeah, and that's why I always try to tell people, especially our people, like, you got to get checked out and look up your history. And a lot of them can't even go back to their grandfathers of knowing what was his medical issues that he probably passed along to you. That's
Yeah, because it's genetics. Like my wife on her side, her family, her father, he has a sickle cell trait. Not actual sickle cell, but through his family, they run sickle cell trait. My wife, her brother, and all her sisters, they all got sickle cell trait in their genealogy. But because I don't have it in my genealogy, my children didn't get sickle cell.
Yeah, that's how it was with my sister. She got it, but we all carried a trait.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you gotta be careful. That's why you can't lay down with everybody too. That's a conversation for a different time. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, but yeah, Most High bless everybody. I appreciate everybody that came on, everybody that tuned into the show. The whole F.O.P.E, CUC family, AUDIC family. Much love to everybody. Like I said before at the beginning of the show, family, I'm gonna just try to do things different this year. I'm not trying to really feed into a bunch of people, with foolishness, negativity, and a bunch of lies that I know it's not true about me. The thing is, I just hate when people would lie and slander and won't tell the truth about things that they cause. Nothing that I cause, things that they cause. But I got many other more important things to do with my time to be arguing with people all day about foolish things like that on the internet. So y'all see me live more. You'll see Elder Qanath live more. Me and K Judah, we got a lot of more classes we're going to be doing. Timothy, we definitely going to do a class on Acts chapter 10 for you, brother. I'm gonna go read it and read it in the Hebrew and do a nice breakdown for you. Me and my brother K Judah, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling. Anything you want to say, bro, before I close out?
I think you probably should do a class also breaking down the rankings too, and why they're not existed right now, because we don't have a high temple.
I think we did that before some time ago. We broke down the ranking system of a One West some time ago, and why it wasn't good to use the officer of 500 and 1,000 and 50 and all that stuff. But during I think the elder said during the time they was giving them ranks, because I think the brothers from ISUPK to Rap was saying that they was told that's how many men you'll be over in the kingdom when the kingdom come. That was something that One West used, which is not really biblical, because nobody never said you're gonna be over this many men in the kingdom, and the only person can say who you over or greater than in the kingdom is Messiah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we did something like that before. We talked about that, but that stuff is nonsense, man. A lot of that stuff is just simple.
Yeah, I've been in the truth for about 2 years now, and I could say like a lot of the camps are just disintegrating. Like, it's not how it was when I first got into it.
Well, see, I've been in this walk for 14 years, and I'll just say, brother, the One West camps doing street teaching with brothers. I got hundreds of videos that I've posted on YouTube and on these channels I done built up. And it was nothing like it is right now when I first came in. You know, brothers was at war, but over the years, man, I just seen this thing get worse, watered down, terrible, and filthy. It was a lot of filth going on then, but the way that this thing has become now, that it wasn't, everybody didn't have a big camp then. Everybody wasn't just money hungry then either. You just had brothers who really was trying to do the word. Brothers was just trying to regroup and build. Now it's all about getting the 501c3, getting the best garments. Everything is lights, camera, action. We got to set up the show on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's all about just getting the information out, but just getting followers to make money off of it. It's not really about sincerity and really preaching the word anymore.
Yeah, it's like a lot of them won't talk to the public, but they'll hop on a podcast.
Yeah, you know, it's a different way to reach people now, and I understand that. And there's nothing wrong with going talking to the public either. But when people out there talking to the public, it's just to recruit members so you can get, you know, more tight money coming in, you know, and paid. And I don't think Israel was not, the Lord never meant Israel to be that way about just making money. You know what I'm saying? I work for a living like anybody else. The scripture says, man don't work, man don't eat. If a man don't take care of his family, he worse than an infidel. You know, these guys don't want to work. They want you to work and tell you their job is to teach the Lord's word. You feel me? Listen, everybody's job to teach the Lord's word when you become and you understand the Lord's word and he give you the knowledge and information, right? But my thing is, I dedicate my life and everything I'm doing teaching because I do it freely. You know what I'm saying? I do this without asking for a payment from nobody. You know, if people want to donate or whatever like that, then thank you, Most High bless. You know, I ain't coming on here asking people you got to pay me for teaching breakdowns or anything the Lord revealed to me in the scriptures. No, that's not how it works. You know, the Lord says
there shouldn't be a subscription service to me to watch teaching videos.
I got hundreds of videos on YouTube of many different teachings teaching people this is the truth. Don't listen to these lies. Here go the evidence for yourself. You don't believe me? Check it out. If you disagree. But I guarantee I'm not going to sit and tell you something that's a lie when these guys literally lying to you outright just to get, you know, a piece of money from you. When I'm telling you, look, this is the information. Just examine it. But
and I can't and I ain't gonna put it all on the dudes doing the teaching because you got a lot of people who are fans, not even actual followers. Like they like going crazy in the comments, getting the merch, watching the videos. So they're a big part of the problem too.
That's what I'm saying. They become fans of something that you're not supposed to be a fan of. You're not supposed to be a fan of the nation of Israel. You're a part of the nation of Israel. Why are you a fan? You don't need to be a fan. You feel me? The only person we should be a fan of is the Messiah. He's the greatest of all.
That's why.
That's the only person you should be a fan of. Not in Israel. Because you know what happened? You ever heard of an old saying? They said, this is why you never meet your idols. Well, guess what? A lot of people in this nation met their idol, met their favorite Israelite, and then they found out, oh, they did something wrong to them. They done slept with their wife. They done stole some money from them. You know what I mean? People in this nation I done heard had their heart broken, talking about, I love this person so much. I supported them, sent them money, did this for them, and then they got their feelings hurt. That's why they always say never meet your idols, because when you meet them in person, they ain't who you think they are. You be the biggest fan of somebody and you get crushed. I know so many guys in this community that have been crushed by their so-called Israelite idol. That's why I always
take that, and then they move to other camps, spreading that too. That's why I said a lot of beef people got in this.
Don't be a fan of nobody but the Messiah, because we know he will never forsake you. He will never hurt you. He will never do you wrong. And that's why I said all the leaders must be killed off. They must die for Yahawah to be exalted.
Because that old generation got done.
He would never be exalted, because these guys, they'll talk to Messiah. But like I say, I don't think they really believe. I don't think they really want him to come back. Why? Because they don't want to lose no power. You know what I mean? You got to think.
I personally think a lot of them are the Pharisees reincarnated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't believe in reincarnation, because the scripture says a man live once, then die, and goes to the judgment. I believe they are. I would say they regenerated in the same spirit that they was in back in those ancient days, and they live on earth today, playing out the same part. That's who I believe they are. The same spirits of people that was doing that same stuff, they're doing it now. That's why I said when you look at Israel, right? Israel into everything that they was into back then: homosexuality, lesbianism, witchcraft, idol worshiping, uh, witches and warlocks, pedophiles, murderers, rapists. They was doing all types.
Liars, gossipers.
Yeah, because Israel was the most wicked out of anybody. So when people sit here and hear this stuff and be like, "This is going on in the Hebrew Israelite community," yes, it always been going on, even back then. And the Lord has to come and clean it up. None of these guys can clean these people up. Why? This is why. And the Lord keep telling me, Shasham, none of these people have the power to heal. You cannot fix somebody with a corrupt mind. So if a person has the spirit of homosexuality on them and they're going to fight that vice, let them fight the vice. But you cannot heal a person that has the spirit of a child molestation on them. You feel me? You cannot heal the person that has the spirit of raping somebody on them. How do you fix that? We don't have the power to fix that on somebody. These people, they get a thrill from that kind of behavior. You got guys who know the sentence for committing adultery is death, and they done did this act about 30 times, and they keep doing it because it's a thrill. Think about it.
Yeah.
How do you fix somebody like that? So
Well, that's why again, a lot of people be like the Old Testament is harsh. I think it's proper. You gotta cut the weed from the ground.
that's what I'm saying. You got to get away from these people. And the only way you get away from these people is separating yourself. You have to let the Lord deal with them, because you can't fix nobody with a corrupt mind. I can't, and we all deal with some type of vices or issues we had with ourselves. None of us is walking perfect. But my thing is, these guys, they sin willfully, and they try to cover up their sin with sin and act like they're not doing these things and make it like it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. They want to correct everybody, but don't correct themselves. They don't never want to take responsibility for the things they do. They would never step down after doing wrong. They won't take a break or even say, you know what, I need to go on a hiatus. I need to get closer to the Lord, meditate, do some type of spiritual cleansing. Nope. They be right on Facebook the next day, right back in the street teaching, doing all types of wickedness to say, oh, it'll blow over like anything else. It'll go by. I'm going to just keep on teaching. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do, bro. Make it make sense.
You can't. That's why I mind my business. That's why I can't join a camp. I would let it congregate, but at the end of the day, I can't do it.
You don't need to be in the camp, brother. If you're an Israelite, you're already in a camp. You're in the nation of Israel. It's a big camp in itself. You don't have to be under somebody, because once these dudes get into your personal business, they want to know what your finances is like and get into your pockets. Now they want to start sending you on a bunch of dummy missions. And yeah, this brother got this and he can do that. And that's what they do, brother. They will use you and try to get any benefit off you that they can until something go wrong. And now, oh, that brother off and he wicked. And now they talking about you. They don't like you no more. And they got a million things to say about you because you're not helping the camp grow and produce anything where they can, use you and make money. That's just how it is with this whole thing. It's all about, it's like the saying, what have you done for me lately? That's the Israelite community.
Yeah. So last thing, I'll let you go. So are we in Jacob's trouble, or we got to go into the wilderness then be in Jacob's trouble? I say. I personally believe.
Well, Jacob's trouble is 3.5 years, during the time of the man of sin. So you can then say we've been in some type of Jacob's trouble, but the real Jacob's trouble is going to be during that time. You know what I mean? When they really will be coming after us. So that's not right now at the moment. Right now we need to be preparing and getting ready for whatever's going to happen on this earth. During the time of Jacob's trouble. You know what I mean? When it's famine and the devil going to start coming down on us hard body.
Yeah. And that's why, again, and if it breaks off, it pops off to happen. Martial unrest, nobody's really ready. Like you people aren't moving as a unit. And it is crazy too how we left Egypt with nothing and we were still moving in a militaristic fashion. That same thing would have happened if we had to leave America tomorrow. We would not be ready. We would destroy each other.
Back then, Israel knew who they were, even the tribes, and we was a little bit more organized. Right now, like we scattered and you got Israelites that's just lost. That's what makes this thing even worse now. And not only that, you got Israelites that's lost, but you got Israelites that's still lost. That's the problem what the Lord showed me. How you're an Israelite, you still lost as an Israelite. That's a problem. And when I tell these guys that, they think I'm crazy. I know who I am. Yeah, you do know who you are, but you still don't worship the Father and the Son. You're worshiping man. So that means you're still lost.
Yeah.
Exactly. You still a lost Israelite. You might have got some knowledge of who you are, but don't mean you're not lost still.
Yeah, just because you put on fringes and get a Star of David.
The enslavement and the bondage of your Israelite brothers. The problem is these brothers are waking people up to who they are, and now after they wake you up and plant the seed, then they put you in captivity again under them. Make it make sense. Now you're captive to your own brothers in the Israelite community because you're serving them and you still not serving the Lord. So they're going to tell you, oh, it's all about Yahawah, Yahawashi. No, it ain't. These men are serving their own belly. Their own belly. Don't you know it's a sin to be a glutton? Don't you know it's a sin to be big, over obese and out of weight, not in shape, eating like a hog, not taking care of yourself or physically getting yourself fit to be together? These dudes eating that much lamb and all types of stuff, bro, sitting around, drinking a bunch of wine. You come on, man. Not even worrying about their health, raking in all the money. And they telling you that this is a discipline, man. How is your discipline? You can't even discipline yourself from the table. The scriptures tell you about don't be a niggard at the table and always the first at the table. Look at these guys. Look at them. Look at a lot of them. You'll see these dudes, man. They got their Hebrew garments on, and they can't even get the girdle around their waist. The girdle, their stomach is so big, but the girdle is so extended. That tells you who eating and who's not disciplined. Who's not really taking care of themselves, bro? And I ain't talking about somebody who naturally big boned. I'm talking about these guys, bro, who just making money and being greedy.
Yeah, they just become, like you said, gluttons. You just eating, sitting back. And it's sad. But again, like you were saying, wait. That's why, the Lord going to deal them out accordingly. He lets I always get this wrong. He lets your sin rise up till it reaches a point where he can't take it no more. Then he cuts you down.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you go, brother.
The brothers don't want to acknowledge their sin, brother. They don't want to acknowledge their sin. They want to acknowledge everybody else and what they doing. But what they doing, they don't want to talk about it. What they doing is, who are you to tell me? I'm an elder. I've been in the truth this many years. So what? So that means you don't get judgment. Rebuke not an elder. Rebuke not an elder. How am I rebuking you by judging you for your wickedness? That's why they don't never want to talk about the stories in the book of history of Susanna. When Daniel judged the two elders who lied on her and said she committed adultery or was trying to commit adultery. See, nobody want to talk about that kind of stuff because it shows you even elders could be put on the hot seat for the wrong that they do. But see, in Israel, these guys, they don't know the scriptures that much. And that's why I always tell them, you cannot come at me about this because I'll show you things in the scriptures that make them mad. See, this is why we don't like Charsham. I said, I bet, because I'm not a dummy. I study and read, and the Lord reveals to me. See, these other guys, you can get over on them, but you're not going to get over on me.
Yeah, the Lord really doesn't have any favorites. I learned that through even Job and Elijah. When he struck it was Elijah who fell back in his chair, right? Because he didn't reprehend his sons. I think.
Exactly.
Damn.
But all right, bro, I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Yeah, it's been a minute. I haven't really seen your videos in a couple months. But it's good to hear from your brothers.
Now, my big brother K Judah over there on the CUC family. I'll be over there with him doing shows with him. Because busy, man. I got a lot going on in my family right now. My
good, family come first.
And I come here, we still teach. I don't teach as much over here like I want to, and Elder Qanath been busy. So we still teaching. It's just not a lot, like what I mean. Because my thing is, we got so many videos on here that people learning from, bro. Breakdowns, teachings they never heard. We teach, but my thing is, I'm not going to come on here and every week and regurgitate the same teachings and the same stuff that people already know. I don't see what's the point of doing that. To me, how are you learning by learning the same thing? If I want to repeat the same thing over, it gets boring. You got to keep the attention of the people. And
you got to keep everything fresh.
These guys go live 24/7. They always on live. They always doing these videos because they make money off of YouTube. They make money off of YouTube algorithm and things like that. I don't make money off of this. You know what I mean? And even if I was, I still want to be on here 24/7. Say I got to do a video just to get people to look at it so you can make some currency. That's not what it's about. When I come on and teach, I try to teach the stuff that nobody never heard before and breakdowns to give people understanding. Like, you know what? I never heard nobody taught this, or how did you come up with this from deep thoughts and through the spirit of the Lord. You don't get that with Israelites no more. All you get is the same
and
thing.
that's the issue I was been having is every time I look at a camp video or a video, it's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yelling at white people, yelling at black women, and then it's not really teaching information.
Like, you're not learning this, you're not learning that. You see what I'm saying? When I was coming up in schools and stuff like that, I learned different things from different people, right? But for yourself, bro, I want you to understand this, man. It's going to be a time in life, hopefully, that the Most High reveal to you. No man shall teach you no more, and the Spirit will be teaching you through yourself. And you'll be learning history and everything like that, reading books, because you're going to want to expand your knowledge. You got to be hungry for the word on your own. Because trust me, once you know more than they know, they're not going to like you no more. Because, see, they can't do nothing against you. Because you go, man, that ain't true. Well, that ain't true. Well, you want to say this and that, then they're going to look at you. And then you start speaking on things that they never heard of and how he know that. And you got this book that they don't possess. And you got all these Hebrew books that they don't know these definitions and words was there in these years and these times and it's in the 1800s and 1600s and books they never touched. This is why I say, and I'm gonna let you go after this, bro. Everybody get their lot, brother. So what you understand is your lot is your time that you given and your portion of whatever the Lord is going to reveal and give to you. Once your lot is done, your lot is done. A lot of these guys' lot been done. So what they're doing is they're just teaching regurgitation because they ain't getting no more. So whenever they hear or see brothers teaching stuff that they never heard of before, it's strange to them because the Lord not revealing to them because they got their lot. They had their time. You see what I'm saying? One West had their time. They had their knowledge. The Lord gave them what they gave them. Now it's other brothers coming in and the words still go on. See, I heard Elder Tahar say this out of his mouth. He said, we got all the breakdowns. We got all the teaching. We got all the truth. If you wasn't back at One West, then it wasn't meant for you. You wasn't supposed to get it. But I say, Elder Tahar, that can't be true because the Bible is an ever-learning book.
Yeah.
Coming past all the time. We're learning things all the time. So if you saying y'all got all the breakdowns and all the truth, then why all these new things are being revealed that are true to other people that's not in One West? Think about it. They got their lot. And now
they're not going to grow no more.
Exactly. Because see, I never thought that nobody could defeat the One West doctrine. When I was out there on the streets teaching, I thought this was the most powerfulest thing that I ever saw or ever heard. I said, man, this has got to be the truth. This got, man, actually, I'll come out here and tell you, we said that all the time.
Yo, I'm with you 100%. That's exactly how I was feeling. What broke me was when they bring up that chart. Once they get past Judah is Black African American, that's when I noticed things started falling through. And I'll always ask this question wherever camp I meet. If Mexico got 4 different ethnicities inside their one nation, how can that whole nation be the one tribe of Issachar?
Yeah, and see, the thing is, that's why I was like, man, Elder Qanath was one of the very first 2 to really start destroying majority of One West teachings that was lies. We started breaking all this stuff down, going into the books, bringing out so much information nobody never heard before. They couldn't even respond to it because it was just so much. Brothers used to run home. They called out what I'm telling them. They used to run home to our show to see Sunday Night Fire. What we was going to talk about next. Who we was going to talk about next. What we was going to talk about in the Israelite community next. Because we was the only ones doing it. We didn't care. We didn't give a 2 F's no more. We said, fuck it. We don't care. We want to talk about this shit because it need to be spoken about. Because everybody else was afraid to talk about the truth on what was going on in Israel. So we said, nah, we need to talk about this, to iron this stuff out, put it on the table, because brothers want to run from the conversations. Everybody's supposed to be having summits and coming together to talk about different things, but touchy topics, that's a part of the topics. If this is in Israel, we need to speak on it. Why be afraid? The problem was, hey, we don't want to cast anybody away, or we don't want to tear anybody apart. My thing is, it's not about tearing people apart. Is it the truth? So you're telling me, right? If you're a servant of the Lord, right, and the Lord appeared to you the day tomorrow, the King of Kings, and told you, "Here you this day, I'm gonna tell you, real, this isn't true. This is a lie. Don't teach it. And if any man come to you and try to teach this, now that you know the truth, then I'm gonna put your neck on the line. Are you gonna teach the lie, or you gonna go and teach the truth?"
I'm going to teach the truth.
All right, then, brother. So now you see why my stance is the way it is. I'm
Yes.
teaching.
I
You know what I mean?
completely. That's
Because the
why.
Lord made me understand. When I gave you Shawsham, if you do a lot of these people, I'm gonna kill you. And that's why I don't give a damn what nobody say about me. I don't believe in it because I know it's false. And I'm not going to go and teach a lie to nobody because my neck is on the line. You know what I mean? See, you're not the one going to get your head chopped off. I'm going to get mine chopped off because I know the truth. So because he told me this is don't teach these lies no more, now that you know, and you won't be deceived no more, you think maybe he said, you know what, y'all brothers right. I'm going to just go ahead and go along with the party. No, bro. I'm sorry. I'd rather be a lonelier light forever than to sit here and lie to people.
Yeah, that's why again I think the story of John the Baptist is important. At the end of the day, he was right. He was alone in the woods by himself, dealing away from all the nonsense, just serving the Father. And they called him crazy.
You gotta be like that. That's why I said, bro, I ain't gotta be at the Passovers. I ain't gotta be at all the parties. I can care none less about that stuff. Don't mean nothing to me. I would gladly come online, teach the truth. This what it is, family. Then sit there and be around a bunch of people who willingly lie to people and tell them stuff that isn't true. That's why the Lord said in the return it's gonna be a lot of crying and weeping. But I tell y'all this, that blood ain't gonna be on Shawsham hands. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, remember, we told you the truth, showed you the videos, we showed you the proof, but you wanted to turn on us, you wanted to kill us, you know what I mean? You wanted to threaten us. Like, come on now. So you telling me if you're not telling the truth, why people want to kill you and threaten you and do harm to you now? If you're lying.
Yep.
And then you ask them to debunk it and they can't do it. Make it make sense.
You can't. That's why again they stay in their own corners with fans. They argue and debate the same people. But we I'm gonna let you go. It was a pleasure talking to you, brother. Thank you.
Always, bro. Appreciate you. All right, family. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Most High bless everybody. You know, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. This show was 3 hours. It wasn't even supposed to be going on this long, but it is what it is. You know, we haven't been live for a while, and I know y'all miss us. I know y'all love to see us, you know, on here doing everything. And sorry, you know, I'm a little fix my hair, you know, fix my hair. Gotta go take me a shower, get ready for work. But yeah, family. Like I said, I love coming on here teaching the people, bringing out lessons, man. Out of Qanath, my big brother K. Judah, Queen Naphtali. You know what I'm saying? I take pride in my teachings, and I give all praise to the Most High. You know, and Yahawah's son for revealing things that he revealed to me to give to y'all. You know, and hey, y'all can believe me or not. I'm not trying to convince nobody. I just put the information out there, just like anybody else who do teachings. And I'm not going to say I'm right on everything, but I know I'm right on a lot of stuff, majority of the stuff I be teaching, you know. And I'm out, not out here just teaching y'all lies, you know, like a lot of these people are for payday, you know. I just want the best for y'all, and I want all of us to make it out of here and make it to the kingdom, you know. That's my biggest goal. But we got to get away from these people, man, these hypocrites, these liars, man. And people got to stop supporting these guys because they don't care for y'all. You know, I love y'all. I care for y'all. I wish the best for y'all. But you're not under me. I'm not your leader. I'm not your master. Don't follow Shawsham. Like I said, I am not worthy to walk in the king's shoes. I'm just a humble servant trying to get there myself. And it's Yahawah, Yahawah only. No man over me. Not on this earth, this planet, or anything. Only person over me is the Messiah. That's who I'm waiting on to deliver me out of this madness. Ain't no elder, no bishop, or anybody want to take on some false high priest or any type of title and super duper fly Israelite that telling y'all this dumb stuff. These guys ain't got no power to save y'all. Like I said, when this stuff go down, they're going to be standing in the same line you are, hoping, praying, crying, and wishing that they could walk through the gates. And when y'all see him, you're going to say, oh, ain't that such and such? He said he was this. And then the Lord going to be telling him to go left. And it's going to be a lot of people looking like, him? It's going to be a lot of people crying and weeping when they be seeing the people who they thought was the super celebrity Israelites going to the left. And the people who you think, they going to the right. I keep telling y'all that. Don't believe in these people. And then all they going to say is, see, you's a hater and we this and the Lord is with us and you ain't got nobody following you. And I ain't supposed to have nobody following me. You know what I mean? Because I ain't got no sheep. You know, Shawsham just trying to be a sheep. That's it. You know, I ain't supposed to be having nobody following me. But anyway, family, I love y'all. Most High bless. And until next time, we not
CUC, no, or F.O.P.E, no, or ADUIC. They want to be like us. You know you're not like us. You not HBG. UIUIC. UGOCC. No, you not like us. No, you not like us. All these camps be talking about nothing. Why is they frontin'? They never follow commandments, they jump to assumptions. We spinning facts and they run. They wanna be like us. You not HBG. They wanna talk and debate. We already know you gon' lie in their face. Grown ass men be acting like women and grown ass women be acting like men. Damn, you wanna be like Glorilla? We all know you never stick to a scripture. I'ma start calling y'all brother Nathan. You worshiping idols with Yahweh depictions. Whoever got ears, yeah, I let them hear it. You talking to God like you don't fear him. You about to get burnt if you not serious. Proverbs 3:7, they must be delirious. Disrespecting the tribe like is you fried? They want smoke like you the most high. Stay off the weed, clear your mind. Don't believe what they say, just believe in Yah. CUC, or F.O.P.E, or ADUIC. Neither, they wanna be like us. You know you not like us. You not HBG. UIUIC. UGOCC. No, you not like us. Shout out to K. Judah. He the one keeping it real. Y'all run away from my daddy. You acting like he pulling up with a steel. He tryna feed y'all knowledge. You don't wanna eat, you don't want a meal. Y'all be Deuteronomy 28, 48. Y'all still in the field. Y'all be deceivers for real. How you gon' lie to your people and not how you keeping the truth concealed? It's about time that y'all wake up. I've been reading Ezekiel 1 through 3 for real. On the mic since 3 for real. Stop trying to be like us. Not CUC, or F.O.P.E, or ADUIC. Neither, they wanna be like us. You know you not like us. You not HBG. UIUIC. UGOCC. No, you not like us.